hear myself through my headphones. Yes, man. Like, I feel real good about this right now.
Pay attention, because you are now listening to Permission to Speak Freely.
I really wanted to start playing the Frankie Beverly and Maze song. But since we played the Drake song for like 2 minutes before the last episode started, I was like, nah, it's cool. We could just start with just us talking. You know, for the people that are tracking, I went to Cali last week for a symposium. It's like a leadership symposium, CNIC leadership symposium. And I can't lie, like, I'm a big fan of, I guess, fan might not be the best word, but Admiral Gray, CNIC, is, I love that guy. Like, straight up, man. I think he's a powerful force, and I think he's done great things. I think he's going to continue to do great things. And I wouldn't be mad if he got higher roles of leadership in the Navy. Looking forward, I think he's a 3-star. Looking forward to him eventually getting a 4-star. I'm a big fan of Admiral Gray and everything that he got going on. So they led that over there. Last year we did it in Norfolk. I came back with a bunch of notes. Not going to have as many notes. It was linear, good. Some of it wasn't for me because I'm from the ceremonial guard. I ain't an installation guy, but it was still some good stuff there. One of the highlights of the trip was Damon and Ella came. They showed up. Yeah, Damon and Ella showed up. And everything was cool. We had a good time. We went out to eat a couple times. For me, I was in the symposium. So from 8 to 16, I was in the symposium. But every day after, I would get home tired of shit from the symposium and still get ready to go out and get dinner or something like that. Not going to say much about the first day, but the first day wasn't good, y'all. Like you know, we talked about it last week. I'm back here to report that it was rough. The first day was rough. We almost missed the flight, all that. And I realized that those neck pillows, man, they don't really work for me. 2 things, because I want to update Damon on this. The flight out, Amari was amazing. Like, I'm like, oh shit, our 2-year-old is great on plane. She was quiet, all that. But remember, like, we woke up at like 3 a.m. We caught a 6 o'clock flight. So that, I guess she was tired. The flight back, like after she had just woke up and she wasn't tired, it was bad. It was horrible, man. It was bad. I felt bad for Angeline, who kind of lived through it. I had my headphones on, like the noise canceling joints. But Amari was moving. I could tell. I felt bad for the lady in front of her. Funny thing is, she's a cute kid. So like everybody just dismisses just how much havoc she out there causing, man. She was causing a lot of havoc, man. And then on the second flight, she cried until she like fell asleep. Like she was crying and stuff. And I always think about like the people with the kid. That's just wow. Other parents had to like walk their kids up and down aisles and stuff like that. It's crazy, man. So now I don't know how Amari is in flight. I know that the thing is we would need to make sure she is sleepy, not just tired, because when she's tired, she start acting out, but sleepy. But outside of that, again, good trip. I learned a new term. Have you ever heard this term, Aaron? Lamoron?
A Lamor or Lamorian?
Lamoron.
Nah.
Yeah.
I'm thinking that somebody stationed Lamor and you wrote that down.
Yeah. So I learned 2 things. I learned that it's Lemore, right? So Angeline was saying Lemore, and I'm looking at her like she was crazy. Then Damon was like, no, they've been correcting us out here saying it's Lemore out here. And then Lamoron, one of the CMCs that was at the event, he said Lamoron, and like he'd been out there for 11 years or something like that.
Sound like a Dr. Seuss character, man.
Yeah, I guess so. And then the other thing that's been coming up, and I need to know this from y'all, man, because I never heard this shit until I made CMC, honestly. Like, I never heard this Navy term, right? So I wonder if it's like gatekeepers of Navy terms until you make a certain rank. But I've heard Nat's ass now more. Like, I've heard Nat's ass since I made CMC. Like more often than any other term that I've ever heard before. Have you guys heard this Nat's ass shit before, or is it just me?
I have heard the term Nat's ass before, but that wasn't the main one I was used to hearing, though. I'm used to hearing
rat's ass, right? So I don't give a rat's ass. What you guys got going on?
Yeah, Nat's ass is ass is completely different than rat's ass though.
Yeah.
So Nat's ass mean like you digging, like you going so much into the details that like they like, yo, we gonna Nat's ass this thing. Meaning like we gonna really look at it with a fine tooth comb, bro. Like that's what Nat's ass mean. I know Aaron heard Nat's ass before.
I've heard it, but by like the country dudes, man, and like some real old heads. This making me think of that dude on Instagram talking about, hey, black delegation, can we bring back, Nuck if you buck or something? He's trying to like swap out slang. I don't know if you've seen that before.
Mm-mm.
But Nat's ass, bro, I would have never thought that. I thought Nat's ass and rat's ass was kind of similar, but I have heard that term, but I don't think I heard it in that like that before. That what it mean though. Damn,
yeah, like if somebody
new.
ever, yeah. So now you know. If somebody ever said, "Hey, can you get this to me? Like, can you Nat's ass it?" Like that's what
I don't.
That's what they want you to do, bro.
Hey,
they want you to like. They want you to.
I'm not doing that. I'm not getting in nobody's rat or nat. No.
That's funny. That's funny, though. Boy.
I feel like Dame Dash right now. Nah, man, you a man. You ain't saying this.
Yeah, I never heard it, man. But that's all. I just wanted to ask y'all. It might be an officer term because I've only heard officers say it.
What community officers? Swoles?
Officers. Officers.
All officers ain't the same, man. By community.
I heard more than one type. That's what I'm trying. Heard more than one say it, man. I mean, it makes sense when you think about it, right? A gnat is very small, and a gnat's ass is most likely super smaller. So we go into the detail. You know what I mean?
When you think about it like that, I guess.
Go into the detail, man.
Oh man, yeah, man. Hey, I had a pretty good week too, man. Going out into the sea. Domo, Mari, Angeline, man, was a good time, man. Like we went to the zoo, man. That was great. Man, Mari had a blast. We had a blast. I think Ella had the biggest blast. You know what I mean? Out with Mari, man. Like it was good, man.
Damon got more highlights from my trip than me, man.
Yeah, I saw the SeaWorld pic, man. That moment in time capture with her godmother. I think that was beautiful.
Hey, let me say this though, Aaron. All those pictures I was taking, and I got more of them in my phone too. I was taking them for Domo. You know, man, every time I was telling Ella Angelina, I'm finna send this to Domo. You know what I'm saying? I ain't sent them all to it, but that's what I was doing them for, bro. I
always thought Angelina was like, y'all want all those.
Yeah, because we only end up putting them all in one little location though. But because I know Domo was at school. You know what I mean? I know he was probably dozing off in there probably. I was trying to say I was gonna send him these pictures.
That day, bro. Yeah, bro. It was bad.
Oh man. But other than that, man, I did make a rookie mistake though this weekend too, man. So, Friday we had a little thing at the Chiefs Club, man. I go in there, man. Everybody's a lot of, Chiefs in there talking bullshit. And somebody tapped that table in there, man. Bro,
they found you was like this.
Hey, rookie mistake, bro. I looked around and said, "Oh no, bro, it was crazy, man." But
what happened?
It wasn't that bad. No, I did what I had to do.
You had to get that.
It wasn't much though, bro. Because it was a lot of people there, but a lot of people wasn't around the bar though. You know what I'm saying? So it was only I think it was like $80. Something like
You're gonna have to get that in blood.
Yeah.
New rule chief. I'm a new rule chief. Y'all gonna have to get that in blood, baby.
No more wildin'. Yeah,
that in blood. You got to get that out my ass, man. Yeah. I'm a new rule chief.
What? Nat's ass. All right.
Yeah, man, that's funny as shit, bro. That's funny. But yeah, man, I had a good that's funny. But I had a good week, man. A good week. Met some new people. New people that's watching the pod, man. That's always a great time when people come up to you and start talking about things that we didn't talk about in the pod, and they have their own takes on things, man. That's always a good time. And if anybody out there see me anytime, man, want to talk about anything, I'm cool, man, because that was good discussions, good talking, man. So
you took any selfies for people, man? Any pictures?
Nah, I ain't took no selfies, don't do that, man. I ain't doing all that, man. You know what I mean? You know what I mean?
Sometimes some people be like, yo, man, let's just get a pitch, man. Like, okay.
Yeah. Now, if somebody
They're
asked
different.
me, I probably would, but that's not a thing. That's not nothing I'm going to be trying to do or want to do. But
I would try to convince somebody not to take it. like, unless we know each other, we came up together and like we just, this our picture because we ain't, I would convince you like, yo, bro, like, don't take no picture with me, man.
Yeah.
like I'm not the guy, man, to take a picture. I don't even like taking pictures on my own though. Like my wife knows that. Like, don't do it. Please don't do it.
Yeah. Okay. Hey, so you was out there, Damo, you talking about watching TV. Did you watch Nemesis?
Nah, bro. I turned it on and watched like 20 minutes. I didn't watch any TV while I just didn't have enough time. Like 8 to 16 for the event. Then at 16, trying to do something in San Diego with the family and not getting back to like 22 every day. I ain't have time. I turned Nemesis on the first night and I watched like the first 20 minutes of it. And then I started falling asleep. I mean, it just looked like Power. It kind of looks like Power. And, you know, I just started falling asleep and I don't know that I'm going to revisit it.
Hey, I think you just did, Dame, did you?
I'm on the 4th episode. I like it.
Yeah,
so
it.
Far, I like it. But to be honest with you, I'm kind of watching it more because I want to see what happens, though.
Yeah,
you know, it got me intrigued, though. That's what kind of what it is, man. That them going against all that stuff. Good. It was good. Like every time it goes off, man, it makes you want to go see the next episode.
Yeah, they put the cliffhangers on there.
Yes, stuff happens in the middle. Yeah, so it was good.
I heard the acting wasn't good.
Nemesis did it, though.
I ain't hear you. We were talking at the same time.
No, I'm saying the creative power, Courtney Kemp wrote down.
Kemp?
Yeah. People calling it Timu Power, though. And it's like to-be-level acting sometimes, man. But it's good. It'll hook you.
Courtney just
ripped some things from different movies, though. You could tell.
Yeah. Courtney just signed a deal with Apple. But like I heard the acting was real bad and I heard the script wasn't good.
Yeah, it's like, I don't want to call it trash TV, man. It's like Power, like JV Power. It's bad. We like, okay, but it's still like Dame said, it'll keep your interest. But, you know, they got like the analogs. You got dudes acting like Ghost. You got the one dude kind of like Tommy, be kind of idiot. You got the Tyreek clone. You know, but it'll keep you, man. But you could tell they ripped off parts of Heat.
Yeah.
Parts of what else? A couple movies, man. I know the mom from Snowfall's in there. Mm-hmm. She forever typecast. People like, yo, I never forget what you did to Franklin. Yo, get her ass out of here. I'm like, yeah, that show like been over like 3 years. And they still on her, man. So
that's old girl from The Wire, right? She was grimy in The Wire too. She was shady in The Wire.
She's like Clifton Powell and Messages forever typecast as being grimy.
Yeah, she was old boy mom. She was what's her name, sister? What's the major? Yeah, you saw The Wire. She was Avon Barksdale's sister.
Oh yeah, okay. It's been a minute, but it's worth it, man. You should watch it, even just to look at the stuff online, the commentary. I got more looking at TikToks, people talking about than actually the show.
It's too much good shit. I'm watching Margot's Got Money Problems right now, man. Like that shit there, man, is on Apple. It's an Elle Fanning show, right? It's not a black show like Nemesis, right? It's Elle Fanning. So it got check who's in it though. Elle Fanning is in it, right? Nicole Kidman and Michelle Pfeiffer is in this joint, man. Like both of them, right?
Really?
Yeah. So Elle, Michelle, Nick Offerman is in it. Like, I mean, just those four alone. And then Greg Kinner is in it. And then Marcia Gay Harden. Like, it's a hell of a cast. And it's about like this girl who get pregnant by her college professor. She had a baby, but she's also broke. So she started OnlyFans to try and make some money. Nick Offerman is a retired wrestler. Her dad, he's also a drug addict. And then her mom is a reformed city girl, I guess. And now, like, who Michelle Pfeiffer is a reformed city girl. Now she like getting married to like this super religious. It's a really good show though. It comes on Apple, which I think Apple is the best streaming app out right now.
That's your favorite because of the content and the quality.
Yeah. I think Apple is good.
I don't think they push enough of their shows though.
Yeah, I think Apple probably got the best shows.
I was trying to get into The Pit. I'm gonna try that this weekend.
Yeah, HBO is HBO, so I'm not even including HBO, but HBO just don't have enough shows. Like HBO like they takes their time. Like Game of Thrones with like 3 ancillary shows, and then The Pit with 2 ancillary shows, and then something else major. Like they got and we shouldn't even be talking about TV this early in the episode. So for the audience, I'm sorry, but the Lantern show that's coming out, like the Green Lantern show that's coming out, that show looks like it's gonna be great, right? So HBO is HBO, but I think Apple is like, man, they running like 10 really good shows at the same time. On Netflix, like what they doing right now?
Jacking up prices.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. Yeah, man. Hey, so I also got I got a little random question, man. I'm kind of going to put them together though a little bit, man. But it's about like, I'll be scrolling through social media sometimes, man, and just be strolling, right? Looking at stuff. And my one thing I was going to talk about this question about, is social media, is bad for, exposing leadership. And then I was thinking about, at the same time, when I'm thinking about that question, I'm strolling through social media. I'm like, man, is people really living like that, man? Is social media like, is people posting stuff just to perform? You know what I mean? That's kind of like my whole little thought process. I'm going through these questions. I'm thinking about social media. When I think about social media exposing people, I think in a way it's helping out with leadership in a way, because I think people are way more careful now on the things they say, the things they do, right? The things, how they talk to sailors or whatever the case may be, because these sailors all sailors, right? Like, it will come back to hunt your ass if you don't watch what you're saying, right? So you got to be careful with that. The things we used to say in 98 when I came in, you can't say that shit no more, right? You just can't even get away with it. You can say one thing, man, and a sailor might be like, aha. Like, you know what I mean? They save that shit for later or something on your ass, man. So you gotta be careful. But with the performing thing, man, it's a funny thing to me. And I'm just saying it because I'm trying to be funny about it, though. It's like, I see people on social media, man, and I'm like, man, I know you. You know what I mean? I know you ain't living like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You ain't living like this. You ain't living like that. So I always look as a performing, man. But what do you guys think about social media is exposing bad leadership?
Can you give an example of a person you saw that's not living how they acting?
Nah, I'm good. I don't want to. That was good. No.
Gotta get him. I think social media is a show, bro. Period. Right. So yes, it's a show. So people are going to perform, right? They're going to perform. I could go back when I was more junior. I had this dude I knew. He was E5 just like me. We were cool, man. Like cool dude. We did a lot of stuff together. Funny dude. I'm not going to say he was quiet, but he wasn't an alpha personality. He wasn't, definitely not. His social media, like his personality came out. You could see how he felt about certain things. A lot of it was politics, race stuff. But like he was a completely different dude on social media than he was in real life. Yeah. So I saw that. So yes, so some of that is, I don't know what's true though. It's like Batman. Like, is he Batman or is he Bruce Wayne? You know what I mean? And I think social media adds that variable, because it's like, do people become who they always wanted to be on social media? So, but yeah, I do think, and then like, I was talking to Aaron about this, just yesterday, honestly. When people start finding things they could build off, then that helps like keep that character into the narrative, right? So you build onto your character. So it's like when you go viral for something, and we had these talks earlier when we had clips that just took off a little differently than other clips. It will be conversations like, hey, should we do another one of those or whatever? It's like, no, if it organically happens, it organically happens. But we not about to now become this page or this podcast or whatever like that. So I do think, and I don't even know if I'm answering, but Aaron, what you got?
I think people, I think we need to point out that people, you could tell if someone is putting something out there and they're expressing an opinion, they're something they're passionate about, or if they're thinking about something, they want to get dialogue for like real conversation, or if they're trying to get that one moment to try to monetize and get a following. Like you could talk about a time in your life, and then if it's, oh man, I resonate with that, and you get more followers off that, what happens if you like 5 years removed from that? You can keep talking about that? You're going to like generate lies about that? Like, I just think that we're at a point now is like being sincere or trying to find that way to create content. I think trying to create content and the following makes people lie.
Yeah. I remember we had this, me and Demo, probably one of our first biggest like viral things, I think was about the rates. And I remember like the next week, I was like, hey, Dumbo, man, we should say this. Dumbo was like, nah. I remember that. I remember that we didn't want to like, talk about that again, right? So when Dumbo said that, I was like, yeah, you're right. Because we had that conversation before, man. We had got a good episode. It was like, shit, man, we making, follow that up. Like, nah, we good. We ain't that type of podcast.
Yeah. Did we answer what you were asking though?
Well, the performing piece of it, a little bit on the exposing leadership question, I kind of like want to throw out there, but I mean that's pretty, I think pretty self-explanatory.
I mean, I could talk.
Sorry, go ahead, bro.
I was just gonna say like you can't lead to. This is my own opinion, right? So one of the things that did come out when I was in that group, that CMC group, is they gonna start having regional like at least at the CNIC level, they gonna start having regional CMCs rank their CMCs in a region, right? They're gonna have regional CMCs rank their CMCs in a region. And it's like, it's wickets that gotta be hit. On one hand, I really don't, well, on both hands, I don't care, right? But on the pro hand, I don't care because if you're doing your job, you're doing your job, it don't matter, right? So that's the pro hand. If you're doing your job, you're doing your job, and these are just guardrails or whatever it is to kind of line you into somewhere, right?
Yeah.
But on the second hand, my issue with it is like, I think that you become a CMC to like not have to deal with the bureaucracy of, did I say that word right?
Bureaucracy, yeah.
Yeah, to not have to deal with like that shit, right? Like just to like not like, cause like some people reverse engineer their work to work for the grade sheet or work for the eval or work for those things. So I wouldn't want CMCs to now, and I would think that CMCs got enough time in the game, enough skin in the game to not work so they can hit those wickets. Like you should be hitting, and it's kind of like a catch-22 because you should be hitting the wickets anyway, right? These ain't wickets that you shouldn't be hitting, but it's just like an eval. Like all that shit you should be hitting. But when people start adjusting their fire to hit this course and hit that course, I personally don't like that, So like even when you talk about social media and judgment and you talk about like what people do and stuff like that, you start getting people afraid to lead and do certain things because they're afraid that it's going to pop on social media or something like that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's damaging to leaders, right? One, as a leader, you shouldn't be doing nothing that even if it popped, you couldn't justify it, right?
Yeah.
That's the first part of it. But two, you also shouldn't be afraid to lead because of that. And we all know how people see things now. Like we're in a different time. We could look at the same thing and people could see it completely different, right? And I learned that. That's I learned that from the Drake and Kendrick beef. Just people see certain things completely different. So that's my thought. I know Aaron has some thoughts too. So.
Well, yeah, like you said, first thing you said was if you get to be a CMC, you're not trying to be in that rat race of chasing points for advancement or your next assignment. Anybody CMC, you're at terminal pay grade, you're not chasing something for more pay. We all get the same incentive pay. right? Our evals, we only get an eval at the end of our tour when we detach.
All right.
So, we rank us, all right, that's fine. Maybe that should only just be for the forces and the fleets to see, hey, he or she would be good for a certain position based off impact. I don't want to, most CMC, we do it for love of the game, and you're not doing it for the accolades. You're doing it because you're passionate. You've outgrown your rates in some cases and stop chasing stuff. Just, you're doing it for love of the game, for the right reasons, for goodness sake. I think for some people, it ranks like, I'm chasing that job. Now, your job will find you.
Yeah, but you had a point that I cut you off from, and I used that as an example for my point. Like what was your point about the social media aspect? Like when Damon was talking about like people, I guess like being scared that something gonna come up on social media.
Digital ink doesn't dry. People fear reprisal, professional reprisal for having a transparent thought, transparent opinion.
Do you fear reprisal?
I don't fear it. I'm mindful of it.
Okay.
I'm smiling. Meaning.
No. You don't gotta go.
No, I'm going to though. But if I say something, right, what's the effects on other people around me? How's it going to affect, my command, really my CO? That's what I'm mindful of. I'm not scared. If I say something, I'm sturdy when I say it.
Yeah, I mean, and that's all kind of attributed to like where your focus in life is, right? Like, so for me, like the worst take I could make is that like big is not top 3, right? Because that's where that's my life algorithm, right? It's hip hop and shit like that, right? Even when I talk to my sellers, I know some of them probably be like, yo, what? Like this dude is like so hip hop, but mine is, that's what I'm paying attention to, right? Like, so my hot take is like big is not top 3, but your hot take.
Oh, I got plenty, bro.
Your hot take is gonna be something political or some craziness that, like, yes, you do gotta watch. My thing is
like, I don't want it to be where my children look back on my social media imprint 10 years from now and I didn't speak on something or I was on the wrong side of history. That's my thing. Like, I don't, sometimes like some people think if you're silent, you agree with something. It's not the case. I don't have an opinion about it, or I didn't feel like voicing my opinion, but if you ask me in person, I'm going to tell you. There's some things I don't say on social media. You're not going to stitch me and flip and bounce it, but that's my thing.
And I think social media,
I see a lot of stupid shit.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, you know what? Okay, you're a Klansman, but I'm not going to talk about you right now. So
I think social media got a bunch of people confused and thinking like their opinion matters. And this don't got nothing to do with you, Aaron. I think social media got a bunch of people confused and thinking like their opinion matters more than it does, right? About anything, right? About any fucking thing, right? So now when we're talking about, on that one hand, like Damon, like the leadership thing, it happens there. But even on your hand, about some people feeling like they have to say something, right? It's a new movie that came out. It's called like Is God Is or something. I forgot the name of it. It's about the 2 girls that's like burned. They dad burned them or whatever. It's a black movie.
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
It's a whole lot of conversation on social media about the depiction of African-American characters and movies. And it's like, yo, come on. Like that don't happen for no other race of movies. Like, there've been movies about mad serial killers, mad unglorifiable people that does not happen about. The best movies almost every year at the Oscars are about crooked people, like not amazing concepts that lift up the race and shit like that. Like, so I'm watching people go on diatribes about like the issues that they got with the way black people are portrayed in this movie. And it's like, come on.
No other group of people has had their depictions in media co-opted and nobody like you. How many of us, we old enough, you watching Looney Tunes cartoons and Bugs Bunny gets shot with a shotgun and then he becomes like a pixelated picture of someone in blackface. Like no other group has that. You might see some things, but not to the level. So I think that's why it's sensitive, not oversensitive. It's sensitive. Like, yo, man, like when you finally get a bead on your image, you're always thinking about, oh, you're making us look bad when everyone else is like, oh, whatever. Just look at the art. That's a mob boss, not a black mob boss depiction. Right?
Yeah, like if I'm a movie guy. I went to school for it, right? If I go and make a movie of like a dream idea that I had, it's my heart's desire to make a movie. That's what I want it to be. Like, I don't want people to want my movie to be the Huxtables. Can I
give an example though? I think it's like you. What's his name? Who's the guy who directed Training Day? Antoine Fuqua, right?
Yeah, I would never make that Michael Jackson movie, but okay.
Yeah, got you. But Antoine Fuqua, he's not called a black director. He's a director. When Denzel Washington, when he did Training Day and he did Lonzo the Crooked Cop, they said, hey, that was a depiction of a crooked LAPD officer, not a crooked black LAPD officer.
Yeah.
I wish we were at a point where you just look at it like that, but because of all the things and all that, it's like, it's not going to be that way.
Social media was different back then too. Social media was different. You know, and that's
20.
Yeah. So
wasn't even not like that for real.
Yeah, it wasn't, right? Yeah, but if it was, you know, because Jada Kiss said it, right? Why Denzel had to be crooked before he took it, right? So if it was, it would be all over people. Why Denzel? I mean, he won a fucking Oscar for his acting. You know what I mean? Like, I just, and I might be alone here, but I'm representative of like somebody that loves the art of it, right? Like, and I just don't like that we gotta go on all of these, like, you know, this is the same group of people. The same group of people mad at this movie is the group of people that thought Sinners was going to take home Best Picture at the Oscars. Like, this the same group. That's what
I just say be
it's the same group.
I'm mindful. Just be cognizant of like, yo, man, like the reason why I'm oversensitive. I'm sensitive. I don't like seeing black women portrayed in a certain way because of my daughters. Same as you. I like seeing, right? And I know we got a lot of listeners that's not black, right? So I want to alienate. And if they get sensitive about that,
no, I just don't want to alienate, right? But I like seeing black films with black directors and black producers. We don't get enough of them in Hollywood. And I also don't want to watch soul food over and over and over again because it was a period of time where that's all we got was fucking soul food and
shit
like that,
Soul
right?
Plane, rotation.
Yeah, so now we got black directors trying to be creative and getting flack for that. No. Like, and one of the best movies that came out that was black based, it was a Jeffrey Wright movie a couple years ago, and it had Issa Rae in it, and it was about. That's but you know what? None of these people saw that shit. None of them. Because they don't really like movies like that. And that's what I mean. Like, and I wish I could remember the name of that movie, but it was really good. And it was honestly about everything we talking about. It was Jeffrey Wright. He was a good writer, a really good writer. You just couldn't tell what his race was or nothing like that.
And then he had to,
what'd he do?
He had to get a pseudonym and he had to like trump up
he went ghetto.
Stereotypes.
He went ghetto.
And he wrote it out of spite. Like, here's my manuscript here.
Yes.
This is great. He's like, what? That wasn't fucking serious?
Yeah. And it was a hit. Even like Issa, because Issa remember, she was successful. And her shit was like touching the people in the underprivileged neighborhoods and all that shit. And then when he talked to her, she wasn't nothing like, you know, the stories that she was telling or whatever. But
Spellman or something.
Yeah, let's go back to some Navy shit, man. Because you had to trigger my film shit, boy.
Okay. No, it's good though, man. It's just free play for us, man.
Yeah. Hey, before you go there, look, shout out to your cousin who pointed out, your cousin Greg Corlett, who pointed out that I spelled Pallette wrong. I think he probably listened to the episode and got mad about the Kobe shit. like I think he probably was like,
my cousin corrected spelling? That's crazy.
Yeah. So shout out to him who corrected the spelling. Yeah, Pallette. Hey, last episode, y'all, Pallette was spelled wrong. Can't change it. Gotta die with that shit, y'all.
Wow. GC is spelling champion now. I got jokes in the family cousin chat now.
It was a different palette. I used the wrong palette. That's all. But here we go. Where we at?
All right. So I saw a note here. He said, Sir Ford did a test saying 82% of our mental health cases were invalidated. Like, what's that about?
No, it was just, and I don't have enough information on this. Like, but when I was in a class, they were talking about mental health. And I guess it was a conversation because I think like a couple years ago, 67% was, our 76 or something percent were invalidated. And I'll explain that in a second. But just last year, they said 82% of our cases were invalidated, which means that people that went in for mental health purposes, it wasn't really, like, it wasn't officially, legitimately mental health. It was just like stress or some shit that somebody was going through that they couldn't handle. Like, it didn't actually meet the criteria of being a mental health case. I deal with that now, where we send sellers and the doctors are like, yo, it's twofold. Because some of those cases, it's like, yo, come on, y'all tripping. But then some of the cases, like, yeah, we kind of figured. But, we send them and they say, hey, it's a certain criteria. This don't hit none of that. Right. But that's what that meant. Like 82% of our mental health cases were invalidated. And to be graceful, to be graceful and challenge that percentage, I would probably maybe challenge it to about 70. Because those doctors sometimes ain't shit. Right. So I do want to give grace there. But yeah, they said 82%.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. But hey, I mean, we always find ways to some people. We always find some kind of ways to manipulate the system sometimes too. But it happens. But I'm not gonna be the guy that say it. I'm sending them right on over there. You got some issues. You got what's going on. Here you go. I'm sending you right on over there. I'm not gonna be the one to make the call on it. But go back to what Dumbo said about some of these doctors, though, man. I like no shit, man. Like how you do stuff over and over and over and over. And I hate to say this, but I'm gonna say it anyway. When you do things over and over and over, man, I feel like you get hardened to it. So I feel like when some people come in, automatically they see certain signs. You know what I mean? Nah, man, you ain't this, you ain't that. Get up out of here, man. But I mean, and it just happens, man. But it comes of doing things over and over. Like, we get complacent by certain things until it happens, right? Until something happens, and then all of a sudden it's like, oh fuck, this shit really happened. Same thing with I be talking about on the ship, we having drills, man. And when they don't do things the correct way because they know it's a drill. And I'd be like, all right, it only take one time for this shit really hit the fan and you ain't gonna know what you're doing, right? So you gotta take it serious at all times. So kind of like goes back to one of those things, man. But I do know some of those doctors, I think, get hard, man. And like, even when I was on the ship, it was like, I was in those rooms, man. I was in those meetings where we all had to talk about all of these cases, what I mean, that we had. And it was, you could tell it's a little bit different, man, when they talking about those type of cases.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, what's the line between, Dama, you were saying, okay, some of these things it's not mental health, it is stress. And I gotta know about.
Yeah, I'm saying that's what they said. That's what the study said. Yeah,
but I could see that. I could agree with that. What's the line where people understand, yo, man, this is part of the job of, like, it's stressful. That's how come, whatever percentage of the population enlists, it's going to suck. It's going to have elements of being challenging. So,
some of this ain't connected to work though. So, some of it's connected to, like, most of, what happens at my, like, so average age is 20 at my command, not making it a generational conversation, but just average age is 20. And a lot of when we get cases, it's relationship connected. Mostly all of it. Normally a breakup, problem with a marriage or something like that. That's most of the cases we get.
What are your thoughts on pre-existing conditions? Like, someone, we all seen, I could speak on it. We've seen cases where someone comes in and then they've been in for 6 months.
Yeah.
And then, all right, hey, they're getting processed out 100% for mental health. Hold up. That was before. That wasn't service related. And then you got someone who has done multiple enlistments or done a full career, and then they are not looked at with the same level of care. And it's actually service related. I got issue with that. I truly can't stand that.
Yeah. Yeah. What's your issue in particular, specifically? I might have missed it.
I don't like it when someone who gets 100% for pre-existing conditions
versus
someone who their mental health challenges and everything is service related. Now, that's not to be not insensitive word, not to be mindful of, hey, You came in with something and then the service exacerbated, made it worse. Got it. But I've seen cases where people have had things where they did not go get mental health and they finally got mental health seriously at things, and then they just weren't taken care of to get their findings back from, and it's just not there. I got issue with that.
Yeah. I think some of the times too, though, man, they may not even know they got these conditions when they come in, and then they end up being in and they have some trauma or have some shit go on, and then they find out, oh shit, this could have happened to me then and there. But I don't precondition coming in, man. I'll be hesitant to even putting people in the military. That's pretty.
But people probably hide it to get in because, like, I want to improve my situation, my quality of life. I got to get away from the situation.
Yeah,
they'll probably. You've heard the MEP stories. I'm not going to talk about that. Well, the recruiter will tell them, "Hey, they ask you this, shut up." I think it's facts.
Yeah, I'll tell you one thing before we move on from this, man. Mental health, man, it's hard, man. It's even as a leader, man. It's hard when we even to talk about, right? When we start talking about mental health and stuff, it's just a hard conversation because we are human and we're thinking about we trying to size people. Oh, is they really this? They really that? Man, I take it back, man. Like, I'm not a professional, right? And I don't want, and I'm only saying this stuff, man, because I don't want us to be on here talking about it and lose sight of how serious mental health really is, right? Yeah, we got the some stuff that's invalidated, but at the same time, it's some people out there that's really struggling too, with mental health. And sometimes the false stuff kind of hurts that, a little bit. But at the same time, though, mental health is a real thing, and it's real.
Yeah, the false stuff hurt a lot. So, especially when you might have somebody with some real mental health challenges, but not able to see a specialist because the specialist is dealing with this 82%, right?
Yeah.
So that hurts those people too, So it is a tough, it is a tough conversation. But it's also an aspect of it where just at any level, we got to have some kind of awareness to it.
But we do have it, though. We just want to get behind it, though.
Yeah, because, we got to lead through it, right?
Lead through it, but we talk about expanded operational stress control and warrior toughness. And you see the colors and the infographics, and we put warrior on everything.
Yeah.
We put its requirements. People whatever, that's going to be a flash in the pan. And you have admin drops, make sure everyone has this discussion done. But if you look at the elements of it, it's all legit. Because if you go to therapy, if you go to these programs and all that, everything outlined on these things is all legitimate. And no one gets behind it. Or the majority of people don't get behind it like they should. Until the fact, I went to my therapist. What they say, hey, your sleep hygiene. Did you work out? Did you get a routine? Did you journal? You commute home? Did you play some music? Did you ride in silence? Why does it take...
I'm about to give a hot take.
Yeah, why does it take going to that when you have these things outlined? I just think that delivery of it, we could get behind it better, but the branding of it, it doesn't help. Last thing I see, but there's a Warrior Toughness placemat and playbook that was signed this month by the CNO.
Yeah,
and it's legit. We hear nothing about it. And then people go to PHP, the partial isolation program, and a lot of elements that they do in a program like that is discussed in the playbook. We could preemptively day-to-day see some of these things rather than having to do it after the person has that full episode. All
right. So this my take. Warrior toughness, right? If we want more people to care about it, right, and focus on it and do all those things, get a warrior toughness guy, right? Or lady or whatever, right? I'm just saying the overarching guy, right? Get a warrior toughness person. Have them stand up a warrior toughness group. Give them an office. Give them a corner office in the such and such building, like you did with McNulty and them in The Wire, right? Build a fucking team, a special team.
A task force?
A task force. And let them focus on warrior toughness, and making sure that the Navy is using it, following it, get metrics, right? Stop throwing shit out and never getting metrics back. That's all we do is throw shit out and don't ever get no metrics back. Like, how is it working? How are you using it? None of that shit is ever coming back. Get people, right? Establish a ground team. Have them go around and talk through this shit. Ask people about it. Like, none of that shit be happening. We get something, we put it out, we push it out, and we move on to the next thing. We get something, we put it out, we push it out, move on to the next. A year later, we look at it again and say, oh shit, let's 2.0 this. Let's, 1.0 ain't work. What we 2.0?
I got an idea. I agree with you 1,000%.
Yeah, so market these things. Like if we want these things to be inculcated into the command, make them no-fail like missions. None of these things, like EOSC, they wanted that to be inculcated. Like that shit went underground. Like everybody should know the CNO sound that shit. I didn't even know that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I didn't know until today.
Put it at people. Put it at people's front door, right? Put it in people's faces. Like, don't just fucking, this is that. Like Warrior Toughness. Like, make it a thing. Stephen Drum ain't do all that work for Warrior Toughness to be in the background like this.
Yeah, I agree with you. Like, stand up an office. Like, I think they should be with the DRCs, the deployment resiliency counselors, the MFLEC, and then you put, like you said, that Warrior Toughness person, and that's their job. I think Navy versus Army and other branches, we always want to multitask or give somebody multiple things or just throw a chief and an exec officer at it. Army is like, no, that is your one job. That's all you do. Like where I'm at, the chiefs, they're doing the admin and the sailor piece. Army is like, your job is admin. You ain't doing no soldier stuff. That is it. I think if you throw it on people, hey, add this to your plate, it gets lost in the shuffle, the operational shuffle.
How old is Warrior Toughness?
Since 2018. 2018.
Right. So it's like almost 10 years old. So like when we do ELD, we bring up Warrior Toughness. Like it's a part of it. We talk about Warrior Toughness. And when I was I think I talked about it on here, when I was asking the sailors at my ELD course about Warrior Toughness, none of them knew what that shit was. And some of them was like really early out of boot camp. Like they ain't know what that shit was.
When it first came out, it was there. It was there. It was like there was some follow-up at A school and a little bit at some of the follow-on commands. But now you ever heard the acronym COSFA?
Yeah, I did. But I did. Yeah.
I learned that today as a key element. Cover, calm, connect, competence, confidence. It's supposed to be like you see somebody, that should be your mindset. We don't talk about it.
Yeah.
You know?
Now let's go back to Warrior Toughness because this was the idea. Now let me talk about how stupid this fucking idea was.
The elements are on point. I ain't gonna say it's stupid. The elements are on point.
You ain't even let me say what I was gonna say. Like, how do you you create the narrative before I even say it? So this was the dumbass idea, and I'll say people want us to bash shit. Here's the bash. We're going to teach students at boot camp Warrior Toughness so they could go out to the fleet and teach their fucking leaders Warrior Toughness. Like, that was never going to happen. They could go out in the fleet and be the ones that know Warrior Toughness. So when they become leaders, they'll be the ones that still kind of pushing Warrior Toughness. That's not going to happen. Most of that boot camp shit was data dumped right after boot camp. They don't even remember that shit. Like, you teach the kids at boot camp, you teach the young adults at boot camp Warrior Toughness, you go to the fleet and teach the leaders fucking Warrior Toughness too. Or just teach the leaders Warrior Toughness and let the leaders teach the kids at boot camp Warrior Toughness. Like, I remember when they was rolling out Warrior Toughness and it was at Great Lakes. It's like, no, teach us too. Like, that shit was stupid. Like, nobody came out of Great Lakes like, hey, Chief, look, today it's time for me to talk to you about Warrior Toughness. It's tough. Like, nobody ever said that. Like, it never happened.
Yeah, and just to add to that, and some of the stuff that like the young sailors was doing, like I didn't even have a clue what that meant, what they was doing, how they was trying to calm themselves and do all them like the hell going on over there. You know, that's my thought process because we didn't get taught Warrior Toughness. You know what I mean? That was the same point Dumbo making, but.
Yeah.
I will say this though, man. One thing I'm gonna say about it, and I'm agreeing with everything you guys just said. I'm just gonna say, without consistency, we have nothing, man.
Yeah,
right?
That's a bar.
We got nothing. So.
Hey, maybe Dom, you 100%. Like the young buck is not gonna teach the old head. Maybe the first people who should have got taught that was the old head AV Master Chief, the mains Master Chief, the top snipe. You get them on board to get behind it, that means that the crew's gonna get behind it. You gotta get the oldest, saltiest people to really buy in, and then the other cats can get it.
Yeah, so, you do it across the line, bro. Like, you just do it. Like, that was just a bad play, bro. That was a bad play. And I know that we got rid of what was it? Like what was the other placement? The Culture of Excellence. I think everything rolled into Warrior Toughness now or something like that.
The Culture of Excellence playbook. There's still the champion networks and all that stuff. It's still there, but
yeah,
you look at the placement.
I think everything rolled together now. Culture of Excellence and Warrior Toughness is not like two different things anymore. It's one or something like that. Maybe we don't know, right? No time. No.
It also changed the way the emphasis changed from CNO to CNO. I know CNO Gilday, that was his big push.
Yeah.
And then CNO Franchetti, she took a whole bunch of things and kept it going.
Yeah. She did 2.0, yeah.
Yeah. And then with a certain CNO Caudle, he's doing the Foundry, all that stuff. Elements, but a different spin.
Like a big thing on the placemat when Admiral Frank Eddy was around was the NDOC, right? Like strengthening NDOC to where like it's families, civilians, and sailors like all engaged and intertwined with each other. And my question would be, okay, we could throw that out there, right? But when do we get these case studies and figure out who's doing it? How's it working? When I was a young sailor and I first started the MWR program, and I can't find this book, and I wish I could. It was a book and it talked about like winning MWR programs, like commands that had good programs or good ideas and stuff like that. Like we need that, like the response sometimes. Like, who knows how anybody's Warrior Toughness programs are going?
I did see, the last time I saw something that had the metrics there was after Task Force 1 Navy. They made it was a big document, but it wasn't promulgated out to, hey, everyone needs to review this. It wasn't a point of emphasis across the fleet. And they showed the data afterwards. Hey, this initiative resulted in this. And
I want to make myself clear, not Warrior Toughness program, because that should be a state of mind. My question would be, who knows how anybody's NDOC is going, though? Like, who know? I think the only time you would do that would be like installation excellence or something like that. Like, that might be something that comes up in installation excellence. But who knows if anybody, like, the only way you would know is to go to their NDOC and like observe it.
Or score on some IG inspections.
Yeah, score it on IG. And then still you only know, like if somebody does NDOC during IG, you only know how their NDOC happened during the fucking IG.
Mm-hmm.
And everybody preps for inspections.
Yep, prepping right now. Yeah.
Right. What's next, y'all? I guess it's gonna be my angry episode, man.
You ain't angry, man. I do angry, bro.
Shit.
I don't want to read no more self-help books.
Yeah.
And leadership books. And I think after a while, like they all got the same elements, the same things. People need to read them, but I think we get to a certain level. Like look, man, I think you're better suited in reading fiction or something else. I got a recommendation for my go-to book.
You just told everybody that's better suited in reading fiction?
Yeah. Yes. Or watching fiction. I firmly believe that.
Harlan Coben. Like, why? Why?
How can I put this? I'm about to nerd out for a minute.
Don't nerd out.
I got to. That's my element, man. All right. You could learn, if you watch Game of Thrones.
Yes.
Right? All right. Dame, you watch Game of Thrones too, right?
Yeah.
Back in the day?
Yeah.
You could learn about the burden of leadership and challenges in leadership through Ned Stark and Jon Stark. Right. Oh, I'm going to say this. I'm going to speak on this. All right. Get your head chopped off. Or, hey, Jon Snow, you better communicate to your people why you're doing this. If not, they're going to take you out.
Yo, this your same take from it.
No, it's not.
That's what I'm saying. Like, this your same take from the couple weeks ago where we was talking about taking somebody to the water and teaching them how to fit. This is it might not feel like it, but it's just, I guess it's just Aaron. Like, but this the same take, bro.
How?
Because some people need that shit delivered to their doorstep. Not everybody's watching Game of Thrones and being like, yo, this is a leadership lesson.
So I'm not saying completely scrap all leadership and development books. I'm saying for some of us, hey, after a while, they ring the same. And also some people, they don't care about it. So if another way to trick them or to get the thoughts and the lessons to them, you can look at some fictional stuff to catch the interest and you can pull from it.
Yeah, but some of them, and let me make one thing clear, but I'm gonna shut up, I promise, because I want the listeners to understand this. We having a conversation, but I'm looking at Aaron's notes, right?
Me too.
and because I don't want y'all to think that like I'm coming off the top rope. This is what Aaron's note says. It says, I'm done with self-help and leadership books. You should be too, right? So that's what I'm responding to, y'all. So like, I don't want, because I like right now it might sound like I'm coming at Aaron's opinion about Aaron. No, he said you should be notes.
Too. I'm looking at us as a collective, 3 seasoned chiefs, command master chiefs, right? We've been through all these leadership courses, all these things. How many ways are you going to tell us about higher liability organizations and communications and decentralized command and all this? We got that. I'm not saying we're done growing. To you is us. That's our notes. We done heard it all the time. SCA, ain't you an honor grad in SCA?
Yes, of course. Of course.
So what?
Of course I was an honor grad.
Yeah.
I was an honor grad in college. Like I was an honor grad.
Freaking brainiac. There's not so much you need, right? So I say for us, like we probably got to pull from different things. Like if I was to talk to Damon, I recommended a Bill Walsh book to Damon. Why? Because Damon is a Niners fan. Bill Walsh is the OG of the Niners. He can still get some leadership courses and things from Bill Walsh's example or reading the Super Bowl runs of those 80s and 90s Niners. That's what I'm saying. To use us. Now,
Damon was about to say something. Yeah. No, you got to finish. I want you to finish just to make sure you get clear.
Yeah, I'm going to cap off, man. So when I say you, that's us. Right? And I got my one last book to recommend on leadership. I'm out that game.
He still got other books.
Because everyone should have their go-to book.
Yeah,
you always got that one book you reference all the time for leadership, or the one that really resonated with you.
What's yours?
I hate the title, man. I hate it with a passion. I'll say it when I'm gonna let Damon go. I'm gonna shut up. I hate it with a passion. I hate the name of this book so bad, but it's an on-point book.
We'll get the title later. What was Aaron? What was Damon about to say?
No,
you go let me say it or not. The name of the book is Way of the Seal. I hate the title of this book because SEALs make too many damn books. Okay? Right? But the reason why I reference this book is because the dude, Mark Devine, retired commander, he had great principles. He had routines and goal setting. He had like charts, and it's like a thorough book similar to Steve Drum's book, right? It's like nothing revolutionary, but it's so measured of how he did it. It's one of the first books that I got when I was in second class. And it stuck with me. So Way to Sit with Mark Devine is on point.
That shit like
I'll be that guy.
But listen, that shit like 300 pages.
Yeah.
What
Say
up,
again?
I said the book like 300 pages, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
Come on, David. David, what's up, David?
Probably read some shit.
What's up, man?
The only thing I was going to say, man, when you talk about the fiction books and leadership books, man, I was looking at the same thing Dumbo was looking at. I say you should be too. But my thing is, man, I'm okay with like the fiction side of it, because sometimes I do feel like a lot of the leadership books say a lot of the same thing and twist it a different way. You know what I mean? But it's a lot of leadership stuff and just reset and all this. So I'm not all against using fictional stuff, to help drive a point. But I'm like Dumbo only point of it I'm like Dumbo too is sometimes, man, you got to put that leadership book right in front of somebody, right? Like don't try to think about this as leadership, right? Like you said, you brought up, Game of Thrones. Some people, they don't look at that. It's not even a leadership thought to that. When I'm watching Game of Thrones, this for me, I'm not thinking about leadership at all when I watch Game of Thrones. So when I see them do something or do that, I'm like, oh yes, that's good. it's a good movie. That's a good show. I mean, I'm not thinking about leadership. But when I'm reading leadership books, I'm all in. I'm even taking notes. I'm talking about this, but I'm not thinking of, that's just me though. I'm just not thinking about that when I'm doing that.
So agree with you. So when we talked about F1, right?
Yeah.
We said that Brad Pitt's character was shown a different way. He showed you could take elements of that character, leadership by example, taking yourself serious, priorities.
Yeah.
Brad Pitt's character with Damson Idris' character, you could see that. That's things you could pull from a fictional character from a racing movie.
Yeah, I said that. Yeah, I said that.
Yeah, a fictional thing for racing, and he's able to pull. That's the
but I never disagreed with you. I never so one, the not reading self-help books was a take that I said on this podcast like 2 weeks ago, right? So really? I actually think you still in my take to be
bro. But okay.
I said I was done with self-help
Your
books.
default settings, I'm arguing Aaron because Aaron got to do it.
No, bro. I honestly said I was done with self-help books like 3 weeks ago. I promise you I did.
I believe.
The second thing is the F1 take was my take.
It wasn't Damon's take?
No, it wasn't Damon's take. It was my take. And then like another point.
I remember that's Damon's. I'm arguing.
Well, you wrong. It's okay. another point that I think is that I think movie writers and this don't got nothing to do with your point. I'm not arguing your point. I think film writers also take elements from leadership books and stuff when they engage into the writing room and that process too. But yes, F1 is an amazing example of a movie that you could learn a lot about leadership, man. It's a lot. And I agree with you. Like, my issue with self-help books at this point is they all borrow from each other. You know, the What's the Name book borrowed from the Simon Sinek book, borrowed from the Mark Manson book or whatever. Like, they all kind of borrow from each other. So,
I mean, everything steals. Like, I got this, bro. Like, talking about films, right? I'll say, going back to Nemesis, when you get to a point, you can say, yo, man, y'all ripped Michael Mann. Y'all ripped 2 Michael Mann movies horribly, but you still try to take elements of a Michael Mann movie with the setting, the pace, and the conversation. Oh, you are ripping Andy Sorkin right now with the monologue. You know, I guess, what they say, plagiarism is flattery or something like that?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, and most people do it. They say it's about 7 stories, right? 7, somewhere between 7 and 8, 13 stories or something
journey.
like that.
Because we know the hero's journey with the Odyssey and all this, it's all the same plays.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean, I could get it from a history book or something like that. I'm not going to completely stop reading leadership books or self-help books because some of the leadership books, some of them for me be like reassurance or reaffirming sometimes, like certain things. But I'm definitely in love with fiction.
I'm leaning more memoirs too.
Yeah, memoirs.
Like Amari's book and Courtney's book and everyone's book. I could learn a lot. I'm for me at my level now, I'm getting more from the memoirs.
Yeah, that Matthew McConaughey joint, his first joint was crazy. I can't even lie, man.
Yeah, I want to revisit the Steve Jobs joint. I didn't finish it, and I know it's one of your go-tos. I really want to get into the mindset of what Steve Jobs was like. Yeah.
I do want to shout out when I was on that trip. It's a lot of PT stuff happening. And shout out to CMC Chris Freiberg, just straight up, just for love, support, and just who he is as a person. But on his base, there's a couple programs happening. One of them was the HPO program, the Human Performance Optimization Program. And what I like about these programs, both programs, I got notes, but they're not here. But both of those programs, they are focusing on the individual seller, right? So, you come, you get with HPO, for instance, you get on that one of those machines. Again, I got notes. I forgot the name of that machine where they give you all your details, right? Like your body fat, your water, your this cell, these, and all that. And they tailor with like your program, your fitness program and your diet program and everything to you with your goals and all that. And they getting into like how, and we heard CNO talk about it when he first got in office. So it's good to see it on the ground level. They getting into how like military members, Navy sailors should be have like work out like athletes, right? Where our bodies should be like athletes and stuff like that. So good stuff. We actually talked to the HPO team, Human Performance Optimization, about getting on a podcast. So that was a good conversation, and they are trying to expand their reach. So whenever we have that conversation, I can't wait to talk to them. But I saw the beginning makings of that program, and it looks like with the right focus and the right stuff behind it, it could be a really good thing.
That's good, man. I like that. You're right. I didn't know anything about it, to tell you the truth, man. I know we heard a little bit. We thought it was coming, but it's, man, you know, I'm going to tell you why I like it already just by hearing what you're saying right now, Dumbo, is the fact, man, I'm getting older. You know what I mean? I need to know these things about my body now that will help me. Like, help me perform at a high level, help me stay focused, help me all this, and all that stuff matters, man. Like the stuff you put in your body, like treat your body like a machine type stuff, man. But I'm here to tell you, man, and I've been reading a lot of stuff about health lately too. And only because I'm getting older. So I've been reading a lot of stuff. And when you think about it, man, all the stuff we do and eat and all that stuff helps you perform better and help you focus and help you, you know, retain stuff more, you know, all that stuff is about health. So to see this program coming out, is good. And I hope it goes somewhere. I hope it ain't one of those programs where one base got it, two base got it. You know what I mean? It don't go nowhere else. I hope it goes to everybody, even Lamore.
Yeah. Hey,
I mean, Lamore and Pax are two examples, I think, where the rest of the fleet gets things and then everyone else don't get it. I just can't stand that, bro.
Yeah. It's facts.
You know, San Diego and Norfolk gets the first play of things rather than those small pockets.
Yeah, man. Hey, real quick, before we go any further, big shouts out to the 8s and 9s, man. The results came out. I seen some names on there, man, that I wanted to see. I already hit them up, you know, on the phone or verbally or whatever the case may be, man. But shouts out to everybody, man. People don't understand. Hey, and when you saw my 8s and 9s, man, people start.
Go ahead, man. Don't stop. Why you laughing?
People started not understanding, you know, how hard it is to make 8 and 9, man. So for the people who made it, man, shouts out to you guys. I'm glad your hard work, you know, paid off for you. Because when it's sometimes, and I just want to paint this picture for everybody real quick. Sometimes when making 8 and 9 and you see something that says 5% or 2%, man, that kind of takes some wind out your sails a little bit, man. So when you make it, man, it is a big deal. It is sometimes, you know, we start getting up to this level, we don't get those claps on the back, man. But claps on the back for everybody who picked up, man. 8 and 9.
Yeah, I saw some good names on the list. Hey, shout out to y'all. Only thing y'all made was more money and more access to do more for everybody else. So just remember that. More money, of course. You got to wait a while, but more access.
Unless you're merit-based.
Yeah, more access to do more for people. That's what I think rank gives us. So, but yeah, definitely some real good names on that list.
Yeah.
Hey, so I got a question for y'all. When I was on leave, a lot happened. So, like, you know, the very first day, it was a text message like, hey, somebody left the door open last night. So that was an infestation of bugs inside, like, the breezeway of the command building. You know what I mean? So that's how the week started. Then it went to, like, more, like, nefarious stuff. Then it went to, like, some serious things, right? Like, some issues, some DV stuff and SI stuff and stuff like that, right? My question is this, not to minimize none of that stuff. My question is this: is it that nothing happens until you go on leave, or is it that when you're there, you could swat away and kind of predict some of the small shit and it just don't turn into big shit? You know what I mean? So, because I hate to be like the person that come off a leave. I've always hated to be the person that would come off a leave like, damn, I was on leave and everything just went to shit. You know what I mean? But is it really that just when we there, it's just an easy, like, nah, this, you know, because man, like this, I feel like my command was taking, and mind you, you know, my CO's on baby leave. I feel like my command was just taking hit after hit.
Yeah.
You know?
Double, I agree with you totally, man. And that's why that's why, man, I can't totally disconnect on leave, man. I cannot do it because of that, man. Like, it's a lot of things I'd be like, why are we doing this? You know, when I'm gone, I say, hold up, man, stop what you're doing right now. You know what I mean? Do X, Y, Z, and that's over with, that's done with, man. But when I'm not there and I say I disconnect from it, it's like I come back and it's like, man, we done got, what is this? Why did we do that? What just happened? It happens all the time. There's no like shade to nobody, but when you do things a certain way, I feel like I know how I want to do things. So when sometimes when somebody do something else, I'm automatically like, why we do that? Like, it's just me personally, because I feel like a lot of things are not as big. Some people think things are like huge and it's a big deal. And I'm more like, I'm calm and collective, bro. I'm like, oh, that's not that big of a deal, man. Shit, what we doing right now? But it do seem like a lot of stuff happens when we go. And you might be right, Dumb, because we've just been doing it for a long time. And it's easy for us to just maneuver a little bit better with things. And some shit is. And some shit the opposite. It should have been a big deal. Like, why I didn't know about this? You know what I mean?
I found out about this.
Yeah,
but how come
why you didn't tell me about this shit? Like, so it goes both ways. But I'm with you, man. It seems like a lot of shit be going on and happening.
And you know who don't understand like military leadership at all? Civilians, yo. Like, I just killed a bug. Civilians, like my mom, like, you know, it's like, I'm even though it's a day off, you know, I wasn't there for a week, so I'm gonna go in. What? You gonna go in? Like, it's like, yo, like, look, man, like, all the rest of my command gonna be there. Like, I'm gonna be there. Like, you know, like, they don't understand that. Prioritize your peace. Like, trust me.
Yeah.
I'm going in because I prioritize my peace. Like, leave that alone, man.
Yeah, man.
Oh shit. Where we at, man? Memorial Day weekend, right? What y'all doing?
I'm gonna do something physical. I think like recent tradition now is a lot of people doing Murph.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna do either run or some cats at the command. They're gonna set up and do a Murph. So I'm gonna go stretch out doing Murph, see how I do afterwards, and then watch a couple movies. I still haven't watched Warfare all the way. I want to watch that, see how that lands. That's my plan.
Yeah, you one of those like dudes that you actually do what the holiday's about on a holiday. You one of them.
I call
like
it an observance, man. It's
on MLK Day. On MLK Day, you do some. You perform a service.
Nah, they put in the chat, yo, we getting do a Murph. I was like, I'll come through.
And this would get like the Aaronators. This would get the Aaronators like upset with me when I ask questions like this.
The Aaronators?
Yeah. Hey, for the people, right, that listen to this podcast, for the Aaronators, me and Aaron are like good friends. Like, we talk to each other outside of this podcast. Like, we don't always agree, you know what I mean? But we talk to each other like damn near every day almost. Like we just have a dynamic. But nobody's against Aaron. You know what I mean? It's just fun. You know, we just have fun on here. That's all. Like, with me and Aaron out, we have disagreed with each other. But we have a little bit more fun on this podcast. We don't disagree. When we go out, we just go out, chill, and do some eating type shit.
Hey, for listeners, Damon and Damo gave me some great advice yesterday and Friday, some career stuff. So that's the dynamic we have, man. Yeah. I wouldn't do that with people who I don't agree with all the time.
Yeah, so you just got those Aaronators, man, that they just be like, yo, why y'all like,
I got me the pinch.
Yeah, we not
I do. I'm gonna start front. Yes, I'm a dude that if it's a holiday or an observance, I do try to do something in the spirit of it. Let me stop fronting, man. But yeah, to answer the question, for Memorial Day, I don't feel like barbecuing, cooking nothing. I'm out that game for different reasons in my life. I ain't cooking shit. Mm-hmm. But I'm gonna go and find a plate after I do the Murph.
I know what that means.
What that mean, man?
I just know what they mean to find a plate, man. I just like, it's, you know, I can hear it through the dog whistles, bro. Like, you know, I'm not barbecuing no more. I understand what that means. I'm gonna go find a plate. You know, I know that's all. Like, you know, I wish. You know, I wish, bro. I wish, man. You know.
That's me saying, yo, Aaron, come through, get a plate. I bet, thanks. Oh, but I got my kids here. I got all 3 of my kids this weekend. Memorial. They might go to their mom and get something to eat. I don't know.
Y'all ever got more than one plate on a holiday?
What you mean?
Like y'all ever went to more than one event, like more than one cookout?
Oh, yeah. Sure.
Back in the day?
Yeah, if the right person, who invited you? Oh, Chrissy? Oh, she be throwing, yeah, I'm definitely going to our house. Yeah, she be cooking her ass off. Yeah.
It was Brenda.
Letitia.
Linda. Felicia.
Yeah.
See, I don't want to get nobody in trouble.
Well, what you up to, David, man?
David be quiet. Well, those kind of times, David be knowing where I'm at with it too. He be quiet and shit on them dudes. Tell him not playing that game.
David just, I ain't taking that bait. Nah, boy.
And I think Ella listened to the pods too, man.
You never... Hey, you ain't gonna never get me trapping up in there, buddy. I'm not. Hey,
I'm like,
David ain't move a muscle, bro.
Disclaimer, I ain't getting in trouble. No, there's no Brenda, Letitia, nothing. I ain't got none of that. I'm gonna chill and I might go to a male friend or his family. I ain't getting in trouble at all.
Yeah, remember, this was back in the day, y'all. This back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day, man.
When I was young.
For me, man, I'm doing the same thing I normally do. I'm pretty much every service day, man. I'm going out there, I'm throwing some on the grill, man. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Throwing some on the grill every time. So
yeah.
But I enjoy that though, man. That's kind of one of my peace things too, though, man. Like when it comes to cooking something and just, you know, see the kid's face, which I ain't got but one in the house now. Then Ella just love she really love my cooking too, man. So man. So I look forward to doing it. I'm probably gonna do some ribs, you know, or something like that though this time. Ribs, maybe a little tri-tip. But a lot of times I tell you what I do too, Dumbo and Aaron. I cook damn near for like 2-3 days though, man. So even though like we cooking, man, them ribs gonna go by 3 days, man. That tri-tip will go by 3 days. Put that work in, bro. But I also put that shit on the scale now. That's how my life did change, though, bro. That's how they changed, bro. Like I put it on the scale and get them 3-4 ounces on there, bro.
Yeah, bro. That's the worst part about like coming off this like trip to. It wasn't a vacation. It was a trip to Cali. But like you open yourself up, like, hey, I'm gonna eat a little different. I'm gonna, you know, kind of pig out. And coming home, stepping on the scale first, you know, being discouraged by that. But then also like
discouraged.
Then also coming off of that, like it's like we still, like soon as I got home, I don't really drink that much. I got home, I bought a bottle of tequila. You know, like we got pizza yesterday. Like we supposed to be back, you know, back on our Dean, man. So we gotta get back on it, man. We will do better for the listeners. So we're gonna do a little different. We're gonna do a do better in a second, but then after the do better, I got like some kind of questions for all of us, but it's just some questions because I feel like we haven't tapped into like the E5 side of things in a while. So I want to tap into that a little bit. So my first thing is real quick. It says in prison, 4-star Navy Admiral, not bribed by business executives, jury, right? So a recent verdict was intertwined with the case of retired Admiral Robert Burke, who was serving 6 years in prison. So basically, what this is saying is that the 2 partners that he worked with, they were found innocent of bribery, right? So, and this might be one step closer to him clearing his name, because I know he's trying to clear his name. And we reported on him, and it was heavy-handed. And I told the person that told me that, hey, he's trying to clear his name and all that, I told her, well, when he does, we'll report that, and that'll be as loud as the other report. But until then, you know, we reporting what the verdict was. But they were found innocent. So I just wanted to share that.
Yeah, it sound like to me, money talk. Hey, that's what it sound like to me, brother.
Yeah, slush funds, right?
Yeah, we'll see. What should do better? What should do better, Dan?
Hey, my do better, man, is when people always say, hey, I know you busy, but, right?
Yeah.
Like, what does that mean, man? You know I'm freaking busy. I got you. You got it. But hey, I need you to do something, though. Right? Yeah. That's one of those things, man. Like, and then Now, hey, let me tell you how different I am now as I done got older, man. Like normally when somebody come across, they say, hey man, I know you're busy. I now break that part down. You know what I mean? Normally I won't. Normally, like back in the day, you would say, hey, I know you're busy, but hey, I need you to go do this. And it's one sentence like, yeah, I got you, bro. But now when they started off and they say, hey, I know you're busy, I'll be like, hey, yeah, I'm busy, man. Normally I don't stop them back in the day, man. But hey, I stop people now, man. It's like one of those things how they start these conversations off, man. Sometimes they start off, hey, real talk, but no,
real talk.
It's always a but to something, man. Now I'll be stopping them at that but now, man. I normally let them make it. Or I let them finish the sentence. If it's crazy, I'll be like, yeah, man, I am busy, man.
Sorry to bother you. I know you probably with your 2-year-old right now.
Yeah.
Why am I thinking about office space for dudes like, yeah, I'm going to need you to go ahead and come in on Saturday and Sunday. That will be great.
Yeah, Saturday. I went to work yesterday. We got in at 3. I woke up around like 7 or something. Like I don't know. I remember. But we got in at 3. I went to work to get caught because my phone was messing up. Couldn't really read my emails. So I went to work to get caught up on emails and do my DTS and stuff like that. Tell me why, as soon as I get to work, this random retired officer is at my job. Nobody there, right? I got sellers that's out doing things, events and stuff, but nobody's at the job except the Kodak Watch. Kodak Watch comes to my office. I'm only there for 15 minutes, yo. We're just doing DTS. This random retired dude comes like, hey, we asked to borrow some bullets, and I'm just trying to check on that. That wound up taking me like 45 minutes. And I told him when he told me, I'm like, look, man, yeah, he was trying to get some bullets for this event. And I guess my people was never going to give him the bullets anyway. It's a longer story, but like, as soon as he told me, I was like, hey, look, I'm going to be straight with you. You got to give me a moment. Like I literally just flew in at 3 a.m. and I came to work just to check on my emails, man. Like I was not prepared for you to randomly walk in my office and this to be my Saturday, right? Now, I ain't say that to him, but pretty much along those lines, so he understood. And I was still helping him out, but I'm like, damn, yo.
Hey, Dumbo, you had to start that line. I was like, I'm just going to be honest with you.
Yeah. Like, yo, look, man. And everybody, and I called, while he was in my office, I called people, and everybody, I promise y'all this big, yo, people probably hate this about me, but everybody I called, I was like, hey, look, sorry to bother you, right? I know it's Saturday. I just kind of got in. I only came to the office to check a couple emails, but it's a guy right in front of me, right? And then I say it, I'm like, look, you on speaker, it's a guy right here in front of me, and he trying to get some bullets, just so everybody could know, like, yeah, I might be fucking up your little Saturday and your little bed, but me, I just got in at 3 a.m. and I came to work. But yeah, so that was that. I got some questions for y'all. Before I get to those questions, anybody got a pick of the week? I do. Start With Yourself by Emma Grade. Really good book. Is it about self-help and leadership? Yes. It was really, so who Emma Grade is, she's the she's like, she works with Kim Kardashian on Skims. She the CPO, the Chief Product Officer of Skims. And she worked with Chloe on Good American. She is the CEO or something of Good American. And she got mad other companies. But it's a book about business. It's a book written for women. It seems like it's a lot of positioning for women. However, as a man, I took a lot from this book, including the woman's point of view about business and stuff like that. But Emma kind of got like a shark point of view about some of this stuff. Like, I think she was actually on that Shark Tank show a couple episodes too, because she invests in other companies and all that stuff. But Emma Grade, I think I gave this book like a 4 out of 5, man. It's a really, really, really good book. And if you want to be motivated and, into leading and all that shit, definitely get this book. It's one of the good ones. I know, we talking about how they all get kind of the same. This is one of the good ones, a really good self-help book. It's called Start With Yourself by Emma Grade. It's for women. For the guys out there, it's for women. For the ladies out there, I think it's an essential read. Essential. And then for the fellas out there, I think it'd be a good thing to add to your toolbox too. So.
Yeah, I got one too, man. Mine is Kobe Bryant, man, the Mamba Mentality. So I got like maybe an hour left on it, man. But it's by Alex Karazin. If I'm saying his name right, Karazin. But I want to say this, man. It makes me like, I always been a Kobe Bryant fan. I remember me and Dumbo used to talk about, the Black Mama stuff back in the day, man. And I'm a Kobe fan, but reading this book and his dedication and his consistency, the things he did day in and day out, you hear about it, but when you read this book about it, man, it makes you, if you didn't like Kobe because he stole all Michael Jordan moves and all this stuff, right? Things like, if you didn't like him because of that or whatever, you should take a look at this book, man, and read this book, because this dude was one of the most consistent players and the most consistent workout to make himself great. He wanted to be great, and he shut out everything to be great. Like they talk about a lot of stories, man. A lot of stories in this book that's about Kobe, and it make you like, man, when people really want to be great, man, it's a lot of stuff that you need to sacrifice to be great. And he was one of those guys that sacrificed a lot of things. It's a good book. I'm almost done with it, but it's good.
Hey, quick read too, right? Or is it pretty long?
It's quick read. Yeah.
When you get a chance, can you send me that link? Believe it or not, it's quite a few books called Mamba Mentality. So can you send me the link so I can add it to the episode notes? So if people want to get it, they could get it.
Okay.
Cool. My the pick of the week is a person in a podcast episode. The podcast episode is from a podcast called 154 Africa. If you know the comedian Godfrey and another dude, a co-host, retired NFL dude and on Good Morning America, but they talk about different people, African ancestry, who are American. The person is Remy Adeleke. I'll make sure I get the spelling, but his story is crazy interesting. He was like royalty from Nigeria. His dad was a chieftain, and then he was murdered. And then him and his mom came to the States. His mom from the Bronx, and then he was going through life in the Bronx, and then he joined. He was getting involved in different things in life. Bad elements. He joined the Navy as a corpsman, became a SEAL. Then he got out and he wrote a book, a memoir. He wrote an action thriller. He's real passionate about human trafficking. He did work with Jack Carr from Terminal List. He's just a crazy, interesting story, man. It's like coming to America. Eric Killmonger from Black Panther. His life story is crazy. So 154 podcast episode, Remy Adeleke. And then you can check out his memoir, his book, Transformed, or his other filmmaking work as well. He's a real multi-hyphenate dude, man. Remy Adeleke, episode 154 podcast with him. I'm going to try to get him on the pod too. I'm going to reach out to him.
Let's do it, man. I would love for that to happen. Send me the link. Let me get that link. All right. So here we go, y'all. We're going to do a little different, a little interview style type conversation. I'm going to ask the questions. I'm going to answer some of them too, but kind of looking for Aaron and Damon answer. Some of these going to be on the spot questions. So my first question is, when you look at the challenges that junior sellers are facing today, right? Are they completely similar to what y'all went through or not, right? And if not, then what are some of the differences? So first question is, are the challenges that junior sellers facing today similar to the challenges that y'all faced when y'all were? And I'm going to just give the rank E5s, right?
Yeah. For me, no. Like it's a lot, some of the stuff the same, but I'm going to say no with the challenges, man. I'm going to be honest with you, man. For one, the difference is the schedule. I feel like back in the day when I was in E5, I was running a work center. I felt like my schedule, I could know shit. I knew where I was going. I knew when the ship was leaving. I knew what ports we was going to hit. I knew when the training cycle was going to be. It was the same almost every time. It seemed like I knew so much more. I feel like there's a lot of inconsistencies with a lot of stuff now when it comes to schedule is one. Two, I felt like, and this could be a knock on whatever, I don't care, but I felt like my leadership and training was a lot better, right?
Mm-hmm.
When something happens now, the first thing goes is training, right? If we need to cut something out of whatever, it's training. Bro, we had this thing on the ship, and I brought this up before. It was called School to Ship, and it was like on Tuesday, 07 whatever, the ship shut down, right? And they trained for 45 minutes to an hour, nothing else going on. And if you was outside of getting training, you had to explain why you wasn't at your whatever training it was. That's a difference. I think the training element of learning is different. And as time go by, I'm going to be honest with you, you can see that in the Navy. The training piece, some of the stuff that we have lost from the time being. And then the other piece is the biggest is social media. When I came in, it wasn't no social media was not as big. We were just getting computers, bro. Like it was like the box computer and all that type of stuff. I was getting my first phone for the first time when I got in the Navy at 18. I had the box, some shit I had, like big ass phone. Right? So it's a lot, those things are a lot different than it was when I came in. So yes, I think it's a big difference, Dumbo, for me when I was an E5 and E5s now.
Yeah, I agree with Dan with the training piece. I think they have more time to on ramp and really learn their craft. I'm gonna add on, I think their sense of fulfillment and incentives aren't there. They don't have the sea stories we had. They don't get the port visits that we had. They don't get to have the fun. Going back to the funding, if they don't have the steel beaches that we did, the port visits, so they don't have a sense of fulfillment that we have on and off duty. I don't think they're having fun. We worked very hard as E5s, but we played even harder. They're not having fun. How many port visits did Ford and Truman get back in a couple years ago? They're not having fun. And I think that's not fair to them. That's more challenging. Because you get told, you recruit, see the world, and then they're not seeing the world. So I think that's not fair to them as E5s, especially.
Yeah, that is rough. But, one of the other things that I was asking in that question is, what about outside of work, outside of the Navy? What do y'all think the challenges are that much different?
Yeah, I mean, I think they different, but I'll be honest with you also. I think back then for me, I wasn't as ambitious as sailors are right now either, though. Like, you got sailors coming in now, man, they want to do 8 different things. I mean, the only thing I wanted to do was learn my job. You know what I mean? I was straight like, let me be a damage controlman. Let me learn this. Let me learn that. I think now, man, people have different, they doing a lot of different things, man. Like you see the content creators, you see people trying to get into real estate, people doing all this stuff while they're in the Navy, man. Like they having businesses while they're in the Navy. I wasn't even thinking about nothing like that, man. I was like straightforward Navy, but then and again, that's how we grew. That's how I grew up. I didn't have too much when I grew up. I'm not really like nothing. You know what I mean? I was okay with what I had, but times are just has changed. There's so many more opportunities they got now than I had when I came in. I'm taking advantage of some of this stuff now, though, that they're taking advantage of too. Like I'm doing it too, but I didn't have that when I was, then I think it all goes back to social media in a way too. And not just social media but about how much stuff you can touch now that you couldn't touch back in the day. Right? You really can touch, you really can go on the internet, you really can start a business like right now if you wanted to. You really can do a lot of stuff you could do now you couldn't do back then. Mm-hmm. Or you didn't know how to do it anyway. One or the other.
Yeah, I think their pathways are more clearly delineated, like lined out. We didn't have that. It's kind of like a college point of view. It's like, they know what their major is going to be in year one. Yeah. Whereas us, we didn't have that. It was kind of like our growing pains are different. But I think it's better for them because they know, hey, you do this to this to this, and you know what you got to do. I want to be a commissioned officer. Here's your career path. Here's an nav admin. Here's this. They're better informed, but they don't get a chance to breathe sometimes. What's your plan? What's your plan? They don't get a chance to figure it out before they got to get set on this path of advancement.
What challenges do y'all think they are facing? I would say you could go Navy, but I'm also thinking about, are y'all tapped into like what these sailors are dealing with outside of work?
I think I'm tapped in. I ain't gonna lie about that. And I think I'm tapped in because I have these meetings with these junior sailors and I'm talking to them about the things that they got going on. And I would say now my tap in is more like being in Lemoore, and it's not good. Right?
Yeah.
When I say tapped in, because they dealing with different situations because there ain't nothing to do in Lemoore. Right?
Yeah.
So I'm listening to them talk about things like that. But I'm also way more understanding about these sailors too, I think, though. I'm no shit. I feel like I'm listening to what you got going on. We're going to talk about these conversations. Like when they talk to me about something that's going on base or something that's going on that, like we really having conversations because a lot of times in these conversations, they can find out ain't nobody really against you. Right? Like this is just one of those things where somebody may be just bringing this up. It ain't the fact that the barracks suck because they don't have this, but how many people brung this up before? You know, so I kind of had those conversations and let them know the world is not against you. You know what I mean? Because something's going on. It's about, you know, having a voice like you got right now, bringing things up. Because a lot of times sailors may think we can read minds sometimes, right? That's why I always talk about you got a voice. It's okay to talk. It's okay to bring it up. Making somebody aware of things. But Dumbo, back to the question. I hope I'm tapped in to what they got going on, and they do have a lot of stuff going on because I'm gonna tell you one of the biggest things before I move on is one of the biggest things about the issues I have with sailors right now is school. When they first come in, they want to go to school right away, which you can if you're doing a certain way or whatever, but they can't use TA right now.
Yeah.
And that's a big deal, I think, for sailors right now. You know, I think it's 3 years or something like that. They have to wait before they can even like score you.
And I got a hot take on that one too.
But. Yeah, so that's one of the biggest things that I'm tapped into that they always talk about when I be talking to sailors.
Yeah.
What about you, Aaron? What's some of the and like list them like top 3 challenges that like junior sailors that you see from your purview that junior sailors are facing?
The off work quality of life. Sense of purpose with that. Like I had somebody come into my office for a bad day shit. And I could look at him and tell like he just wasn't there. So I asked him, I was like, "Are you okay?" It was me and his chief. And he wasn't. And I was like, "What do you do on your off time? You're in the barracks. What do you do?" And he was kind of shy to say it. "What do you do for fun?" He's like, he likes to go play Magic the Gathering. Mm-hmm. And since he got on board like 6 months ago, he just goes to their barracks room. He has no sense of community. So me and the chief was like, "Yo, like you can find that." So I think the challenge of being like feeling lonely. You don't see sailors like just going out together. They just get off work and they just silo off into their barracks or if they got an apartment. I think that's a big challenge. The connectivity of building community and connections outside of work. I think that's huge because it affects them on the job. Going second thing is, I'm sorry, go ahead, bro.
What's your second?
You talked about the college. The incentives, they need to have the incentives. It's not just you get to serve and why hold off on it? I don't agree with the wait period. I understand the logic behind doing your job and getting your core competencies complete. But if I got somebody who's come in and they're 28, and they got a real life experience, ran a business before, they know how to manage their time, even though they have to learn the military lifestyle. Yeah. Why am I telling that grown person how to manage? Like, yo, put the shit in. Are you able to manage it? Okay. You got your quals and put it back to leadership to say that they can get approved for TA rather than putting that time limit. Are they trying to save money? Okay, got it. I don't like it, but bring back the incentives to really do it. If I don't want to work, I want to go to school. So stop taking away some of the incentives. That's the second thing.
Yeah, I mean, they just saying you got to be in for 3 years where you could get it.
Yeah, I don't agree with it, because going back to the example I said, this person's grown. Hey, the job market kind of took a hit, or their business flamed, or they want to do whatever. They know. A person who comes in a little bit older, they know exactly what they want to do. Why are we holding them back? Don't hold them back. Let them go with the full gamut of everything available to them.
Yeah. Hey, Dumbo, I didn't like name them all, but one more I wanted to talk about too, man, was the barracks too, man. I feel like that's a big deal too. The barracks is an issue. Sailors want to live out in town. They want to get places together. They can't get them. I'm talking E3 and below. They can't get them. And on base, and and I kind of, I'm 50-50 on it, to tell you the truth, right? Mm-hmm. That be honest, but I know it's always a money thing anyway with that too, trying to give everybody BH and all that stuff. But at the same time, man, like that's one of the sailors' challenges is that they get off work on base and they go into a barracks room on base, right? So that's one of the challenges. And they want to be out in town. They want to be with their friends. They want to be hanging out, doing stuff they want to do. Stuff that not on a base, well, I getting at it. Like, you know what I mean? Not on a military installation. They want to do something else. So that's a thing too.
Could I show out a question, opinion based for y'all?
Yeah, just to let y'all know that that was the first question. So 20 minutes.
Good,
I got like
good,
13 questions.
You hitting it, bro. I know you always want to make sure that we are not a senior leadership khaki heavy pod, and this question gets it. My question is this, right? Do you think we are setting up people to fail for failure by having them move out the barracks with the cost of living and picking roommates and utilities going up, right? Do you think we're setting them up for failure, or am I looking at through a lens of the old guy? Because I got my first apartment when I was 20, right? So do you think we set them up for failure, or no, it's life? Just go forward and just get mentored and get the CFS done. And do you think we set them for failure by putting them out there already, or nah, man, they're adults. They could do all these things and die for the country. Why can't they go sign for an apartment?
Yeah, so that's my take, right? Because one of the biggest challenges I was going to say is just money. I think sailors feel like they should get more money, right? We all feel like we should make more money, right? But my answer to that, and I'm going to keep it really fast, is I don't think so, right? I think as people say, keep that same energy, right? So I feel like that, right? If I could allow you these liberties, then I could allow you these liberties. Like, you're old enough to get up, you over 18, you out of your mom and dad house, you're old enough to get a place on your own, go get a place on your own, man. It is life. It is a part of life. I mean, I think give them more money so we can afford to live out on our own, but it's life, man. We're kind of dealing with that at my command right now, where it's like a couple options, and one could be living out in town, and it's like, hey, if they do, they do. It's out in town. I wouldn't want to be in charge of putting people in a dangerous neighborhood. But outside of that, nah. Go ahead, do your thing.
Yeah. I mean, I agree. I agree that they can stay and do whatever, but I will also agree the fact that, like you said, Aaron, they do that CFS thing, man. You know what I mean? That CFS thing, look at them as a budget, how much money they making, what they got going on. That should help saying yes or no to giving them BAH or saying yes or no for them moving out in town, right? Let them know they have enough money. And of course, people probably can lie on that too. But I think that's a stepping stone though.
Yeah. I mean, I think people that live in barracks should be people that's not deemed suitable for independence.
Some people need that safety net. I think the mentorship piece of it.
Some people do. So this just then, I got 2 questions from a listener. Like just then, I might as well ask them and then get back to mine. Y'all know, listen, hey, shout out to you. I'm gonna say your name. Y'all know listeners write long questions, man. So first class, I ain't gonna go through his whole thing, right?
I remember this joint, yeah.
But he says he got aspiration being a CMC. In one of our recent episodes, we discussed a Master Chief who chose to retire because he felt he can no longer connect with current generation sellers. He said he recently transferred from RTC. Recently transferred from RTC to Pearl Harbor. Over the last couple of years, he noticed that some senior leaders who are nearing retirement seem disconnected from today's sellers. He also seen some of his peers adopt a similar mindset, viewing the Navy as just a job rather than an opportunity to lead and mentor. He understands that not everyone will have the same level of passion for leadership, but for those of us who want to make a positive impact, it can be frustrating. I agree. This is what he's asking us. Have you seen this trend in your own experience? If so, how do you address it within your mess? Also, what advice would you give first class who want to help their peers reconnect with the importance of mentorship and leadership for the benefit of junior sellers? Everybody not going to like my answer. Then he thanks us for everything that we do through the pod. So the first question is, have we seen a trend in our own experience?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, we've seen a trend. How will we handle it? I'm saying this because of who I am, though, right? And I feel like I am comfortable in my own skin to bring this conversation up, right? I am not, if I see something, I am not scared to address it in my mess, what I'm getting at. If I see or if a sailor, hey, CMC, this blah, 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 I'm not scared to say, hey, somebody told me this, man. I'm just trying to, because that's sometimes what we need, Dumbo Aaron. Like sometimes we need somebody to say something to make us say, oh shit, I didn't even realize that was happening, right? But if we don't ever say nothing, we can't expect change, right? So I'm okay with addressing it. And you know how many times I didn't heard that? Oh shit, I didn't even notice that, man. People have got offended too and got pissed or whatever, but it's out there. And I guarantee you when it's out there, people think about it differently. And for him and his mess too, he should be thinking about doing the same thing in the first class mess, man. We call each other on stuff to make things better though, right? When you bring something up, that's dialogue, that's conversation, that's making both of us better, right? They're making the whole mess better when we bring up these conversations. Sometimes you don't even have to name it. Sometimes you can just have a little quick topic in the mess and talk about it out loud to everybody and get different views, even though I got an agenda. Even though I got a point I'm trying to make, but I might talk about it in general into the whole mess and we just have a great conversation about it. And that's what I love doing now, man. I'm a conversational guy, right? I don't necessarily want to talk off PowerPoints and talk about this and that. I'm more about, hey, let's have this conversation real quick. We all in here. Let's discuss this real quick and talk about some things. I think that's the quickest and the best way to get to it. Because once that conversation is over, people be thinking about it. Trust me, when you put it in the air, people think about it. I don't know if I answered that, Dumbo. I hope so.
Yeah. What about you, Aaron? You need me to reread the question?
Yeah, please. I think it's a connection piece. Yeah, read it, please.
He sent another question too. Another long question, Pierce. I'm gonna read it. But so this one, he actually just sent it to me as we record. But the question here was, have you seen? So he talking about people being disconnected and just clocking and just coming to do the work, right? I said, have you seen this trend in your own experience? If so, how do you address it within your mess?
Okay. I've seen that trend and it's always going to be the trend. People will always be disconnected, whether they just want to do their job or they're burnt out. They don't have anything else to give. What I say is be mindful of it. And you need people. I'm not going to fault someone who just want to do their job and nothing else. I'm not. I would like for leadership to take on the other thing you talked about as far as reaching people and leading, but sometimes that ain't the case. You're always gonna have people who are gonna pick up that level of responsibility. For the connection, you're not gonna connect with everybody. Damien, I remember you were talking about the carrier CMC when you sit in the seat and how you lead differently through other people because you're not gonna, or was it you, Damo? How you're not gonna connect on a deck plate all the time.
Yeah,
the higher up you go.
Yeah,
right? I think you put a higher premium on connecting with certain people who have the wider connection to everybody. If I have a connection with one person who has the B to everybody, then I'm connected. It might not be the same as connect to everybody or more people, but if I have those exact people to connect with, that's how I stay connected.
Yeah, I mean, yes, I've seen a trend in my experience. A lot of motherfuckers. If I was to percentage it out, it's more people than not, in my opinion. Right. So yes, I've seen that. Right. How do you address it within your mess? It's a couple different kind of conversations here, right? It's one as a CMC, then it's one as just like as a senior chief, our chief, right? But in every single conversation, I'm kind of speaking after the step that Damon took is the address it step. After the address it step, my conversation is this: everybody can't go, right? It's close to like what Aaron was saying a little bit. It's in the same family of that. Like I'm not investing in negativity, right? And I'm not investing in like weakness. I'm not about to spend more time with, and sometimes people get this, and I'm gonna say get it wrong in my opinion, in the Navy a lot, where we spend more time focusing on the people that's not moving than we spend getting shit done with the people that is moving, right? If you clocking in and you just dare to be unmotivated and do your thing, I'm not about to let you bring me down into that. Like, I'm moving, man. We got things we need to do. We got sellers we need to take care of. We got a command we need to run and function and manage. Like, if you wanted them, just give me some work so I could do it. I'm going to just give you the work so you can do it. Like, I'm not about to sit there, and this could be on me for the people that's listening. I'm not about to sit there after I already tried, keep trying to motivate you into being motivated and inspirational and zeroing out at the pursuit of excellence. That just might not be you. And it's everybody in the world is not that person, right? So you got to kind of, in my opinion, you take people as they are. It's a couple people that you could bend a little bit and help them out, but not everybody is that. You're going to find yourself killing your energy trying to focus on somebody like that. I mean, and that's my advice, because the second question is like, what advice would you get at first class? We got to remember in the Navy, we can't fire people, right? If we could fire people, and this, again, like I said, this is my opinion. I'm on my soapbox here, right? If we could fire people, shit would be different. You could just fire the motherfuckers that ain't on board.
Or just, I wish, not fire them, dock they pay.
Right, or something.
Hey, you failed a PRT. Hey, guess what? You are taking a 30% pay cut this paycheck until you get back to standards.
Yeah.
Nobody will fail then.
Yeah, so we can't do that, right? So what am I going to do? My example wouldn't be the PRT. Mine would be more about like leaders that don't want to lead, whatever like that, or people that don't want to contribute to like whatever mission we on. Like, all right, fuck them. Like, I'm moving out with the people that do want to contribute, right? It's like if we were moving out in a vehicle or a car, and they're like, hey, I'm not riding with y'all. I'm not giving fuck. All right, bye. See you. We got to get this thing going, and that's just my opinion. That's just so for like first class mess. Like, I'm not wasting 6 months trying to get everybody on board with the plan. We making a plan, and if y'all said y'all wasn't on board, and I said no, y'all please get on board, and y'all said y'all wasn't on board, fuck y'all. We are going. We moving. We doing shit. That's my opinion.
Hey, I just want to real quick, and I just want to add to that too, man. Like, spending so much energy on things also is the fact I said what I said, but I'm not spending a lot of energy unless it's detrimental. That's when I maybe start, spending a little bit more energy when, we talk causing harm, damages some stuff, or some disadvantages for certain sailors under your, care or whatever. Your leadership, then I think it's a whole different conversation. But I'm with you guys. I'm not finna put all my energy and all my time into it unless it's like that.
I'm gonna quote Captain Cordell, what he said in his book. Think of the foreword. It's like, how much trouble, how much hell are you raising? Are you willing to go to a raise to speak the truth or do what's right? It's gonna be friction, right? But to your point, like. Damo, it is not your job to convince somebody to do their job. It's not. You could tell them, hold them accountable. I say for the first classes and anybody, get return back on your emotional investment. In business, like you might take a risk. Hey, you know what? Buddy's going through a tough time. A young sailor, all right, I'm going to put some out there. After a while, you got to stop putting that emotional investment out there if you're not getting return back on your time. Because guess what? You're doing that, and then the ones over here that need it, they're lacking. They ain't getting it from you. So get back meaningful return on emotional investment.
Yeah. Now here's his second question. And I'm realizing like as I'm like kind of reading it a little bit that I might have to take his name out. You know what I mean? So I might have to go back and edit his name out. But it says, I wanted to follow up with another question. It's been on my mind after listening to your episode with Dr. Cordell. First, thanks for listening to that. That was just me. So I appreciate people listening to the episode with just me and Dr. Cordell. It says, during that podcast, you talked about the imaginative side of leadership and not getting stuck into the mindset of this is how it has always been. Oh yeah, I really like that part. That was a really good metaphor that was used by the host. It said, that really stood out to me because it's one of the biggest frustrations I'm dealing with right now. Since checking into my current command from RTC, I've been trying to improve processes, standards, and communication within my shop. A lot of pushback I receive is simply, that's how we always done it. Our advice telling me to just let things go. At one point, someone even went to the department head and described me as aggressive or as someone trying to change too much too quickly. Thankfully, my warrant officer with me spoke and several people in my shop stepped up and said that perception was not accurate. Still, it left me questioning how leaders are supposed to handle situations like this professionally. Part of me wants to directly confront people when I feel they are undermining me. But I also understand that reacting emotionally or leaning into the angry RTC instructor stereotype would probably hurt my credibility and push my crew away. That is the opposite of the kind of leader I want to be. I genuinely want to mentor sellers and build trust with them, not intimidate them. At the same time, I do not want to become passive and just accept ineffective leadership or outdated ways of doing things because it's easier. How do you balance pushing for positive change without becoming labeled as difficult? And how do you deal with leaders or peers who seem more focused on protecting the status quo than improving the command? Before Damon or Aaron answers that question, I'm going to say this. We don't know you. For the seller that asked the question. So we are going to answer this universally, right? We don't know. You could be a difficult dude, dog.
I think I'm hearing the kindred spirit, man.
You could be an aggressive guy, man. So, but we still want to, I think it's a really good question. So we still want to answer it. So it says, how do you balance pushing for positive change without becoming labeled as difficult? And how do you deal with leaders or peers who seem more focused on protecting the status quo than improving the command?
Man, it happens all the time too. Trust me, this is one of those things, man. But the only thing, if I can say to this question is, man, we do get caught up in doing shit the same way all the time. But I would say, if I want to change, have positive change, I will have a plan for that positive change. It's how you put things out matters in this situation. If you have a plan, a foolproof plan you come up with and you put the work in, put the hard work in, the time in, then you try to implement it. But you implement it by talking to the right people. You don't go in there and you don't start trying to just change stuff because I'm in this position now. No, hey, I got this type of plan. This is what I'm trying to do. Have people. That's how you get people on board with you, right? Because a lot of time when people see you trying to do something, oh, he trying to do something. When you send up the chain of command, okay, let me look at it, right? Let me look at what you're trying to do. Then once you start getting those people on board on your team, it'll be easier to start implementing that stuff. And I'm a big component, a big guy on the fact of I don't like tribal knowledge. Tribal knowledge, man. I'm all against that. If you got a plan, you want to talk about something that we can do better, please, my ears are open. That's just me though, as a leader too. That's just me. I'm talking about myself. But I think, Dumbo, to answer this question, man, have a foolproof plan, send it up the chain of command, and that's how you can try to get people on your team to implement some things you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Put the rope down. Anybody, from my experience, anybody who comes from that type of tour, you're labeled. You see things differently based off perspective. There's a reason why a lot of people do not go to do that tour and even successfully complete that tour, because you're forever changed afterwards. They don't have your point of reference. That's the one thing. From my experience, when I left RTC, I went to Japan, and you lose your mind if you go with that RTC perspective to 7th Fleet or 2nd Fleet, wherever you're at. So you got to temper it down and meet people where they're at, because they don't have that point of reference. Second thing, People hate the way things are, and simultaneously they hate change. So they're going to get pissy because they don't want to do the work to change anything. But to Damon's point, you can't do it by yourself. You never do it. You got to do it with a group in cohesion. If you can get the biggest dirtbag to see how things are the way you see it, or meet in the middle, that's how you go. You got to get buy-in from the high performer and the person who's just doing a 9-to-5 mindset. If not, you're gonna go crazy. So I say manage expectations because they got you labeled as a change agent. Oh, you trying to be extra. This goes back to the AZ2 pod we had. Oh, you trying to be extra, man. You ride their ferry. You're extra. Yeah, because you're lax. You suck. So manage expectations, man. Get a group with you. Meet them where they're at. But they labeled you once you came off that tour, man. They know you come in with RTC energy or instructor energy. They're already going to be a little resistant. And just remember, people don't like change and don't like the way things are. It's going to be a battle regardless.
Yeah, I agree with everything they both just said. I don't disagree with anything, even everything Aaron said, I agree with. You got... I'm glad I'm still sharp like that.
Even Aaron.
I'm glad I'm still sharp like that. You got influencers, right? You got influencers. And a CMC told me this a long time ago. He was like, hey, as a CMC, I'm not trying to come in and, grab the whole mess. I'm just trying to grab the influencers, the people that already got the mess, right? And I think Aaron then spoke to that like twice already this episode, right? So, but the couple of points I got here is this. People gonna weaponize your last tour against you. I've been places and I heard this ain't the DDG. I've been places I heard this ain't the carrier. I've been places and I heard about my CO, he's acting like a swole. This ain't a ship, right? Like, that's what people do. They weaponize your last tour against you. It's a thing. It's always going to happen. Resistance to change. I'm not going to really touch it because Aaron did already. The one thing I will say is this, circumvent your reactions. Damon knows I have been like the direct to somebody face, like figure it out response kind of person before. But it's ways I've also circumvented my reactions. And I call this, I'm a last laugh kind of person. I like the story. I like the Count of Monte Cristo. I like the revenge stories, right? I call these lethal injections. Like, I'd rather inject change than like try to slap you in your face with it. Till one day we look back and I can be like, damn, remember last year you thought this? It's like, now look. Like that's the way that I like to see changes and reactions. The emotional response sometimes is going to just create resistance. And it's not going to create resistance off of the context. It's going to create resistance off of the expression, your response. People not even responding to fucking your intentions. They responded to like your outward expression, right? And then the last thing is this, in my opinion, is this. If you put Usain Bolt in a classroom with a bunch of Snells, they never gonna fucking pick up what he putting down. You know what I mean? They never gonna pick up they never gonna run faster. Like, he can do as much as he can. They never gonna run faster, and it's gonna be a hard time for them. They ain't gonna like it. And I'm not saying everybody's a Snell, but some are, and you gotta know and identify with that. And like we said with that last question, man, can't take everybody with you. You just can't. They don't want to go and they're not going to go. That's just not the way the world is built. And I mean, that's my answer to that.
Yeah.
All right, let me get back to these questions for y'all though. Were you competitive as a junior seller? That's a yes or no question.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, good. All right. If so, was there ever a period where somebody, like you looked at somebody else like, damn, they kicking my ass, or they was like equal to you in performance and you admired them? Well, y'all ever had one of those moments where somebody was just kicking your ass, you couldn't keep up, or y'all were like running mates a little bit?
Yeah, me. Like, we was running mates too, though, at the same time, but I'm always competitive. I always want to beat them, but
yeah,
he was kicking my ass because he was an HT1, man. One of my good friends. We know we don't talk every day no more, but when we was on the ship, at one point in time on the ship, he was like 1 and I was like 5, right? But I knew I was on my way up to being the guy though. You know what I mean? You know, you just know I'm on my way, right?
Yeah.
But this motherfucker, man, had like already before he got to the ship, bro, he had like 4 EI letters. I ain't got one yet. He a first class, bro. He had like 4 EI letters, right? And he was so good, man. And this was an HT, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? He was so good that when the top snipe left the ship to go do some on leave or whatever, he was the one that was reviewing the logs, bro. Like the logs in Central. Engineering logs, bro.
Yeah,
the HC1, you got other chiefs, you got other... This dude is who he left with looking over the logs, bro. He was that good at this. And I remember one day, man, we was on watch. And I asked him, I said, man, how you know this much about the plant as an HT? And then I found out before he came, you know, he wanted to be a GS. He wanted to cross rate to GS. So he did all those, you know, all that stuff he did. He learned all about their maintenance. He was actually doing their maintenance because he was going to cross rate. He ended up not doing it. I had to figure that out, man, because I was like, ain't no way this dude as an HT know this much about all this stuff, man. Mm-hmm. But that's the reason why, man. If he wouldn't have made chief, I would have never got up there either, bro. He had to move out the way. He was that good, bro. I'm glad he moved out the way, bro. You know what I'm saying? It was good.
That was a good day. That was a good time back when people just used the best person. It ain't matter what their rank was. It's the best person, right? I don't hear those. I was on the phone with one of my homies and he was like, yeah, the second class, I just made an LPO because my first classes wasn't shit. You know? And I'm like, damn, I don't hear those stories a lot. Like, I think Armin Owens, like, was the LCPO in his division and they had a chief and he was an E5. You know what I mean? So, but you, Aaron, was it ever somebody that you saw that you was like, damn, I just can't get, ahead of this person?
Nah. The dude was, I had to get him out the way because he was being propped up. He wasn't proficient. He wasn't qualified. And I'll just call it was a good old boy network.
Yeah.
And they were putting certain people in there and they're capping some of us. And I was like, all right, you're going to fall on your face. And it was one thing to be propped up, but it's another thing to be propped up and you're not even gracious and know that you're being propped up. You really thought you was him. So I didn't backstab him or nothing. I just said, I'm going to keep getting qualified and you're going to fall. And when you fall, I'm going to step over you. And that's what I did. Yeah. So I had to get him out the way. It was natural. That's what he did, man. So after the fact, nice guy, but he had to get up out the way, man. He was bad for the watch, everything.
I do got a question for that. Aaron, was it because he's a senior guy?
No.
He being propped up? No, not because he's senior. Okay.
He was I could get that, but it was just the good old boys, man.
Yeah, I got you.
And, and if you listen, what was it? Just got picked up now. Matt Sheet for a trailer. OSCM now. It's my guy, my OG. He knows exactly what I'm talking about. That dude was trash. And I'm not, why am I as UI? And he sucked. Nah.
Yeah.
Nah.
All right. So yes, I had one and the person wasn't being propped up. I don't know if he ever like outranked me or nothing like that. He wasn't being propped up, but he was somebody that every time I looked at him, I knew he was amazing. And like, he always inspired me to step my game up. When I was a young sailor, my first command, he was a GSM, his name Khatri. I give him a shout out, my boy Khatri, man. From Nepal, he got out. He didn't even stay in the Navy. He went on to go open up a whole bunch of gas stations and do that. But he was a GSM. Of course, I was an EM, and he just worked harder than everybody. He's just the hardest fucking worker. Like he worked harder and he knew more. He was smarter, and we had some pretty smart GSs at that time, some pretty good people. But he just had that. The kind of edge I had over him was that like I didn't work as hard as him, so I was able to be other places. I was able to do other things. So I was the MWR president, right? Which puts me down into like visibility of the command, right? I still worked hard, right? I don't want to give the collateral like this is where the collateral kind of helps ascension versus like makes the person, right? But it just put me in. And then I was an EM, which also put my visibility in front of people. You got to go into the hole to see Katri because that's where Katri was. And even if you go in the plant, he's in the fucking engine somewhere. Like he's always working. Like, and he was just a big motivation. Like me and him cranked in the war room together. Like I love this dude, man. He pushed me. He always made me want to do better. And he was the guy. Like I said, I don't know if I ever outranked him or nothing like that. I don't think that we were in the same like playing field when it came to rankings. But that was just but I knew who he was. He was the man. And like anybody who got any information or education from Main One, it was coming from Katri after a couple of weeks because Katri was a studier. Like he was a tech manual guy. You know what I mean? And that's what did it for me. He was the only one like that. Like every other place I went to, I never really saw like somebody that was like, yo, yeah, dude. I might have saw dudes like how Aaron's saying, but I never, Katri was it. Like, all right, my next question is, I got a couple of them. So let me go to this one. What are some things that the Navy is offering now that you wish they had when you were E5?
Ooh.
CA2P?
Oh, you wish for CA2P?
Yeah, I mean, like if you meet this, well, if I'm saying correctly, if some cats who had a harder time picking up first and they meet all the requirements, all the things, hey, you're it. You meet the metrics. Take this job and you are now promoted. Bump the exam. All right, cool.
Okay. Yeah, I remember Map, man. Map used to create so much. Like people be mad about like shit like the new shit, but Map used to create so much animosity and issues and shit.
Okay, I know how you got mad
about Map. Yeah. Used to be mad as hell about Map.
Hey, I saw some grind on my first ship how somebody got mapped. I'll just leave that there.
Yeah.
They got it third kid already. So
I'm kind of on the similar lines of that. Not necessarily the way we advance though. I think most definitely comes from a lot more performance-wise, man, like performing. Plays a heavier role, man. And taking an exam and making it off of an exam can be you got people out there that's just good test takers and smart as hell but that don't mean they're performers though. You know what I mean? They don't mean they're performers. You see, and I have seen that so many times where, a guy got a freaking P eval and make rank before you because he's a good test taker, right? Mm-hmm. And he's not performing on a every day. So that's one of those things, man. But yeah, I think I'm along with Aaron with the way we advance now.
Damn. All right, y'all. It's pretty simple. So here's an easy question. Top 5 items that you wouldn't dare go on deployment without. Maybe top 3. 3 to 5 items you wouldn't dare go on deployment without.
Without shit.
5.
Maybe 3.
I will not go without. And I'm not gonna go to the essentials because essentials is different, right? We know you gotta have the essentials, but I want to say something. One, shower shoes. This is kind of essential. You can't go nowhere without them shower shoes, man. I ain't wearing those bags on my feet and shit, man, like some of you guys be doing out there, man. Mm-hmm. So that's one thing, man. And I have to have my rack has to be set up a certain way, man. So now I need my phone thing, right? I've had hard times and I have to have this thing. Now, this is me. I have to have this thing now with my CPAP, put on because the CPAP, I found myself rolling over, touching my head on the CPAP too much, man. Now I got this thing where my CPAP sits outside my rack. Perfect. Got to have that. What else I have to have, man? Have to have a TV. You know what I mean? And now since I done got bougie, I have to have a bigger monitor too now, man. You know what I mean? I can't, this little TV. Box monitor type deal. I can't deal with none of that stuff, man. Cause I'm trying to separate shit now, man. I'm bougie now, man. I'm trying to separate stuff and do this and do that. What else, man, that I can't leave without, man? Shit, one more dumbo. I'm like 4 of them, man. I can't.
Yeah,
I'm sure it's something else I got, but I think of it.
What up with you, Aaron?
I need a fully loaded out, downloaded iPad or Kindle.
I
need that. We got the music and all that stuff and the books.
Yeah.
Exact, like particular snacks that I know will never get carried by the ship store. So I gotta make sure I load out for the first 90 days, hit or miss on port visits and mail calls. So those core particular snacks or breakfast things. And the third thing, also particular soap toiletries. I mean, particular soaps and hair products and whatever that I know is not going to be carried by the ship store, and I know it's going to be a while for a good mail call.
What's your go-to hair product?
All right, I'm not the answer. It's not.
I'm glad y'all catching it when I'm doing that, man.
Hey, one more thing, man, that people be slipping on, man. If you ever try to get some good stuff, man, it's that sticky rice, bro, from Costco, man. Right? That rice stays sealed up, bro. You get that sticky rice and you don't have to worry about it, man. I'm telling you.
You know what I'm carrying now? Scratch my third. Number 4. I'm bringing my Instapot. Put it in the mess.
No, you're not. No, you're not.
Yeah.
Hey, see that? Hey, dude, Dubbo, talk to him, Dubbo.
I'll bring a good rice cooker, not an Instapot, okay? Damn.
The rice cooker either.
Why not?
See, the Aaronators, I can't even do it.
Oh, man.
We are not going to sit here. We are not going to sit here and act like, especially on a crew that is mess, that the rice cookers ain't going.
Electricians, talk to him.
Let me tell you. I'm gonna tell you.
And the mafia, they ain't trying to hear that. The mafia, the Caribbean contingent, they ain't trying to hear that. They cooking their rice.
Hey,
boy, hell no.
Shout out to the mafia. I went up against the mafia about a fucking rice cooker, bro.
Yeah.
And as an EM, I went up against the mafia. I had them, and now I'm gonna talk a little shit. I had them hide.
I see a box with it.
I had them hiding it. I had chiefs hiding rice cookers, hiding them from me.
Yeah.
But I lost a little bit too, a little bit.
Excuse me.
And I won a little bit, and this is a very cause of frustration for me though. Like I spazzed out about it, like in the mess at one point. I just snapped one day, like, yo, what the fuck? So they did it. I don't get into it. Hey, I love all y'all. Right? This is all in fun.
Let's go save them for it, please.
This is all in fun, right? But they was like, it's a deployment. It was a COVID deployment. Give us a pass. Boom, 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 boom. And I probably told this story on the pod a few times. And I'm like, all right, cool. Well, we do it. And I don't even know if it was something, but whatever it was, when we got back, they was like, we promised, it's going to go away. We going to boom. And I went on leave, like, the palm shit or something. And I came back and this shit was still out. It was out. And I'm like, yo, y'all can't have this out. Boom. And I'm kind of like lowering it. I went back and I went at it like with the CMC, bro. like I'm a chief. I went at it with the CMC about this shit, bro. Like I went to the CO about this shit. Like, and it's funny because when I was going to the CO about it, the CMC was with him. You know what I mean? Like so CMC was with him. So it's like, yo, what's up? It was like a whole standoff about this shit, bro. And then eventually, and the fucked up thing was at some point, like my top snipe was like trying to be like, yo, chill, it ain't that deep type shit. And I got mad at my top snipe. Like, yo, how are you saying it ain't that deep? I'm doing my fucking job. You know what I mean? It was bad. It was at one point where when I went to my divo about it as an officer, he's like, yeah, I can't really say shit because we got the ice cream makeup in the wardroom right now. They had a waffle maker. So they had a waffle maker and they had a rice cooker in the mess. And they had it's like multiple waffle makers. This is waffle days and shit like that. And I remember like somebody put it like somewhere in like the CO suggestions or somewhere. It was like, yo, why the fuck? it was pretty much, I don't know, one of my sellers said it when they went to go work on something. They like, how are we preaching all this electrical safety stuff? But when we went in a mess, it's like fucking waffle brunch day or some shit.
This is
right?
going to be a touch point about rice cookers, man. I'm telling you.
And it fucked me up. Like it really messed me up. And I couldn't take it, man. I'm like, yo, y'all, like this shit ain't cool. And like we had a whole joint. I was at that point, Damon could tell you, I think there's a couple moments that I put myself on the other side of the fray, bro. Like, and I don't know if Damon was there for the waffle thing. He might have been, he might not have been. But it was a few moments on that ship where I put myself, especially as the people left, right? The people that I felt it was two different messes. It was a mess when I got there and a mess as I was leaving. As like some of them people left that I knew would never go against that shit. Like I had to start putting myself on a fray. Actually, I think Damon might have been there one day about the waffle cooker because I think they said something when I wasn't around. And David came and told me, like, yo, they said something about you, bro. Like, and David was my bro. That's my bro. Like, y'all ain't gonna say my man in there. And I think that's really what I went in there after. Like, all right, I'm not going there now.
Ain't nobody finna say nothing up in here, player.
Like, that's
he here.
What would you said? Hey, what was that? Oh.
That's when I went in there. I think I might have went in there and just disconnected that shit after that. Like, this shit. And then somebody, you got to come get it from me. The motherfuckers talking to me. It was senior chief, all that shit. I never, like, and that's what I like when they talk about this Chiefs mess shit. Like, I never stood down on no shit, bro. Like, my shit is documented.
We're not a cult. I've seen cats come in with the scissors and cut it.
Oh yeah.
You won't play a game? I ain't pulling. Cut it. What?
And bro, that was a rough time. And like I said, I love everybody. It ain't, and it's all in fun now. But going in that mess when everybody wanted a rice cooker and a waffle maker, that was a rough time for me, bro. Yeah. Like I wasn't going in there with, and especially at the day, I'm going in there with people I know was saying some shit about me. Like,
hey, let me ask this, bro. Let me ask this.
Waffle
right?
maker?
If you go in the mess, right, and it's one of them Saturday underways, right, and the meal, they got the little sidebar meal. It smells great. Adobo, jerk chicken, whatever, just banging in the rice. You like, would you not eat it out of spite? Or would you be like, would you eat it?
No, when I'm going to say this the right way. When we had our period of, yo, let us do it for morale because it's a COVID deployment, all that shit, I was eating that shit, bro. I was eating, I love rice. Put a little bit of sugar and butter in it, I'm good to go, bro. I was eating that shit. And same as waffles. I'm eating that shit.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So, but when we hit the time where it's like, no, you can't do that shit. Now I'm mad as shit. Watching people eat waffles and shit. I can't eat that shit because now I'm standing on business. Like mad as fuck. You know what I mean? But all right, let's get that.
But I'm gonna tell you.
So get a rice cooker for the thumbnail.
hey, I'm gonna tell you though, man. Those conversations like that, man, is very crazy because it make you hypocritical about shit too, though. You know what I mean? Like. We want to follow all these fucking instructions to the T. We want to do all this shit right here. Mm-hmm. And it clearly spells out that you can't have certain shit.
Yeah.
But you want it though. But it's hard for leadership because now you could throw that shit in my face every time now. Yep. You could. Yep. If you wanted to, you could throw it right back at me. So it's one of the things you got to really be thinking about that as leaders, man. Like, do you really want to, die on this hill type shit?
And that was my fight. Remember we did that dumbass chief training, that old ass chief training module thing. And it was about what if such and such cheated on the PRT or PFA? What would you do? And people was like, well, you got to hold them accountable because it's a thing called fucking standards and the policy says. And I was in that bitch. I was in that bitch. Yeah, I'm in that bitch like policy. We got electrical safety policy that y'all motherfuckers try to violate every day. Now we gonna sit here in this training. That training had me mad too. I was hot.
All from be bringing up Instapot and right.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, I was hot, boy. Like CDC, we done veered into chief territory, right? So let me take it back. So most people say that they joined to get out after that first or second contract, right? Did any of you join to get out? Like, any of you joined to not do 20?
For me, I always kept it on the table of staying in and do 20 though. Even when I came in, I was never the guy, I'm getting out at 4. I ain't never said I was like getting out. But I left my options open. Like I take that back. I was planning on doing 4 and then just seeing how that went. I think that was my whole mindset was.
Okay. What about you, Aaron?
First, I didn't plan to do 20. I extended at the end of my contract, and then I re-enlisted at the end of the extension.
Okay, so second question is this then, and it might be a third off of this. If you would have got out, what was your plan? Like, what was your get out plan? Like, what would you have been doing?
I think I would have been doing carpenter stuff, man. I used to love doing like the working on stuff and building stuff or putting stuff together, man. I think that's where I was going to.
I would have done something medically or tried to be a firefighter or some shit. But try to be like a medic, a nurse, or something like that, or go be a firefighter.
Yeah. Okay, cool. I mean, well, I guess I could ask this question now. Are you guys considering doing any of that after y'all retire now?
No.
Okay, all right, good.
What was your in the hospital? Hell no.
Yeah. Were y'all like immediately bought into, and I hope I don't gotta explain this. Were y'all immediately bought into the Navy when y'all joined?
No.
Okay. What about you, Damon?
Yes.
Okay, Aaron. What was your buy-in moment? Like, when did you finally? I hate to say drink the Kool-Aid, but when were you finally bought into like the Navy?
When I started my family, real shit. I wasn't bought and bought until I saw how they would provide for my new family that I started. That was it.
Yeah.
Period.
Stood in front of the mirror with the blues on. I am.
Nah, it was a family.
That check, boy.
So I'll say this: the last year before the last year of my first contract was a lot because that same tour, it was 9/11, that changed my perspective. And then my roommate, my friend, he something happened with him, and then I started my family. You know what I mean? So it was all the way we bonded, all these things. It was all that. So like, all right, that's what happened.
Okay, let me tell you for mine too. I just want to. I know I said yes in the beginning. Well, I said yes because I still says that, but at the same time, man, when I came in on my first command, and I don't know it's because I was the only, fireman in the division or not, but boy, I never had nobody pour into me like the E5s and the E6 did for just little old me. You know what I mean? Like from a training aspect, from taking me places, from giving me this great advice about life and all this stuff that I never really had.
Yeah.
So that was a big turning point for me, man. I was excelling too, though. You know what I mean? Because I always had effort and attitude. You know what I mean? I always had that. But I was excelling, pretty quickly, and people liked me, man. Like people so it was different for me, man. So I had a good experience, on my first ship that pretty much sold me on the Navy.
Was it ever a time, for both of y'all, was it ever a time that y'all wasn't fucking with the Navy? Like while y'all been in? Like just a time where the Navy could kiss your ass? Man.
Yep. Quick.
So what was your time?
I was a DC-1 2009, man, and I went to Captain Mast, man, and
yeah.
I'll be honest, like a lot of things happened on there, man. But when I went to Captain Mast, the CO told me at Captain Mast, he said, "Hey, DC-1, I know you, and you will not be led blindly." Right?
Yeah.
Because I wasn't directly doing what I went. When you're not directly doing it, but you the LPO, you the leader. Yeah.
Yep.
It was one of those things, man. And at that time, he said, and this how he said it though, man, was crazy. He was like, "Hey, high months pay times 2, reduction." And he named all this thing before he said a lot of it was suspended. Right? He said it all, and I'm standing up there. I didn't blacked out now, man. I'm
Chud the builder here now.
I got all this stuff done, and then he suspended all of it, but had pay time too. But I'm gonna tell you why I was F the Navy, man, because at the time I felt like I was at the top of my game.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, I knew I had a good chance of putting on Chief like that year or whatever. So I was like, everything, bro. That was my moment, man. I feel like I was at the top of my game, and to get that and to go up, and it was crazy, man.
Yeah,
that was my time.
My first one was shore duty. Coming off the first ship, coming off like junior seller of the year type shit, and like just always getting an EP #1 ranked, and like then going to shore duty, and them like kind of like, damn, homie. You know, your last ship, you was the man, homie. Like, fuck happened to you? You know, and like having to like prove, like having to like start from, and that was the first lesson. And it's like, yo, I'm not a top draft pick. Like, you know, I'm just this regular old person coming here. Y'all don't know me. So just like the comment, like that was a rough lesson for me. That like, yo, you not the motherfucker that you was on your last command. Like you gotta, you know, so turning that over and like figuring that part out, and every day I would come home mad, and I was working real hard to be on shore duty, and I'm like, man, fuck this shit. This shit is not giving me back what I'm putting in, and like all that. I got fired as an LPO at that time, and just a whole bunch of things happened. So that was it for me. And I wound up leaving there. I was #1 ranked EP and seller of the quarter, and you know all of the things, but. Man, that was a rough time for me, man.
I got 3 times, man. The first time at RTC when having my rope pulled because they lied. And I got an LOI off that, and it was a lie. And I got the LOI, and then I picked up Chief and everything the year after. I was on some Mamba mentality murder shit. I'm going to show y'all. But during that time, like I took it on the chin, and the reason why I was saying fucking Navy on that is because some people's reactions. Why are you still mad about that? Because it's false. Y'all costing me my money. I was short $450 a check for a minute, and y'all lied on my reputation. So that was the first time. Second time was the Chief. Some cats lied on me again. LOI, and then I picked up Senior Chief 3 months after that. But the reaction to some people, you know, I was like, okay, you're full of shit. But I'll show you. I'm a winner in the end. And then last time was, it's like every other week. Whenever I see some people who I've served with, who have some bad takes on some things, I'll leave it at that.
Yeah. Yeah, so my LOI, when I got my LOI as a chief, I was tight about it. I should have got it. It was, I don't want to get into it. Like, it was a lot. It's a long story. But one of the things that I don't do now is like, I don't qualify before, like, it don't matter. I'm a chief, whatever. I'm not qualing until I'm confident that like I'm ready to be qual, right? Like I know what to do and how to improvise, and it's not just memorization. But it was a lot of bullshit that came with the LOI that, I mean, I knew that I had to grind. Then we had like another issue at my command that also kind of put me in that grind mentality, that Mamba. I was in Mamba mentality. I think me and Damon talked about Mamba mentality before, but I was in that at my command, and I had to be. You know, up until damn near I was about to leave, we were in like a remediation period when it came to electrical safety work. Like up until it was time for me to leave, I negotiated with the CO, like, hey man, my guy's been doing great. Can we stop this now? You know? And it was like the new CO type stuff. But and it was a major lesson for me in my career. But at one point, and it was not with one CO, but with another CO, it wasn't as much like fuck the Navy. It was more so like, yo, fuck this dude. But it was a certain CO, and if you listen, and it probably wasn't you. The CO that it is, I don't think he would even listen to this podcast. But at one point, it was like, and he was a little shady anyway. But yeah, so that was that. And again, that was my emotions at that time. I don't necessarily feel like that about the guy right now, but that was my emotions at that time. Like, yo, fuck this dude. He was just deliberately I know he ain't fuck with me. So, my question for you guys is, well, those moments, were they also like your biggest challenges while you were in the Navy? Were those moments your biggest challenges, or did y'all have other moments that were y'all biggest challenges?
Biggest challenges. I think it became a big challenge for me mentally, though. And I don't necessarily talk about mental stuff then because, when you put that work in, man, you put it in. That was a challenge for me, man. Like some of your peers, making rank before you, and you was like, man, I was, my mindset was like, man, I was ahead of that guy or that girl. You know what I mean? That was a challenge for me at one point. Man, yeah, that was a big, and it was a lot of them, bro. Like, because even though I only waited 2 years before I ended up picking up Chief after that, but at the same time, in those 2 years, there's a lot of people who made rank during that time frame. I just look back and like, damn, man, I congratulate them, but I like, that could have been me. That was challenging for me. Could have been me. That could have been me. So,
yeah.
Yeah, both times for me, it was the most challenging. But the first one, just the preceding events, like I came off a high opera tempo in the Vincent, and then had to bury my mother before I PCS'd. And doing that tour RTC is tough. So I was like, damn, like I'm doing a hard tour. I'm still mourning my mother, had a newborn at home. And this came, I was like, all right, like it made me like question my faith sometimes. So that one, that was real tough. And then the second one, I learned to be a chief, on a forward deployed destroyer that was getting it in. And for when that thing happened, it was the last leg of my tour. I was like, once again, like, damn, like I'm doing it right, all the things, like, this the reward? Okay, but I guess it was just, I'll go with faith. I guess it was a high power, it was God testing my resolve and giving me tools I need for the future. So, but yeah, man, it really, maybe it's necessary.
Hey, let me add something else too. The other challenge to that whole thing also, man, was coming home telling my wife that too, though. That was challenging. That shit was challenging. Like, and then when you don't even know what you're gonna get, you be like, hey, possibility that I get busted down. Possibility, bro. That's
I had to come home with a halfway smile on my face. This tells me how stupid they were when they did this. They're gonna tell me, you gonna tell somebody that stuff on a Friday? Let them go into the weekend? That was the height of stupidity. That was profoundly stupid. And I get mad at people saying, why are you so mad about it? I'll never forget it. Never. 10 years later, I'll never forget it.
Yeah.
Nah.
Find a motherfucker in the sweet pea aisle.
Well, the dude did it. Hey, we went to season, the guy, I made sure, it was me and another dude, I made sure to go see him to get his charge. Hey, how you doing, man? Can I get your charge? What's up?
There we go. Eric gonna find that man, get the can of peas. You getting ready for dinner?
Hey, how you doing, man? You good? What's poppin'? What's going on,
up,
man?
You remember me?
It's like paid in full. Yo, what's up, Frog? What's up, Kermit?
Yeah. What's the name? The joint with Kevin Bacon and them, man. Where they went to juvie. And Kevin Bacon was like assaulting the kids, and then they grew up, man, killed his ass. Sleepers, the movie Sleepers, one of the best movies I've ever seen, honestly. But sleep like that, catch your ass, man. Sit right next to you when you in the diner eating your spaghetti.
I'll never forget, man. Nah, bro.
Remember me, man.
Fuel, man. Yeah.
Damn. I'm not gonna say chief shit. I had like my first year as a chief was rough. But when I was a first class, was it a first? When I was at LCS, man, just the workload and the op tempo and whether the purge tempo or whatever. But my shit was just it was to the roof because I was a UPL, unplanned law cell. I'm going to just mad different LCSs helping with the mission and stuff, and like it just keep getting pulled. And then I went to one of them. And it was like the Twilight Zone. These motherfuckers was working, boy. And it was like Christmas. I didn't take leave because I'm like, yo, it's holiday stand down anyway. They ain't gonna be working hard. These motherfuckers working, boy. I went back to my office to kind of snap. But there I was snapping a little bit on that command. I just thought everybody was from a different planet, bro. And I remember one time I had my radio on duty because of LCS. That's the first command I went to where everybody had radio. And I guess they was like calling me. And I think mine was like off or something. I forgot. But I remember Top Snipe. And shout out to him. I love him. He a good dude, man. Tanner Baku or whatever. And he hit me up. And like, I'm like, yo, dude, I was asleep and my radio was off. Right. And that's kind of how I looked. I was asleep and my radio was off. He got in my ass, man. Like, he was in first class. And I think he got much love for me too. But Tanner, he got in my ass, bro. And I remember he came back, bro. Like after he got in my ass, he came back quoting Bible verses, bro. It's like he really, you know, and it was one of those conversations that I needed. And I think it was one of those conversations that he needed to like he needed to set the precedent of like who's who in the zoo type shit. Cause I was about to like I was going off the rails, bro. Like cause the place was just so like hard to get and understand. So I'm talking shit. Like, you know, one day it's like 1,600 one day and no, it was like 1,400. We got some new parts in one day and they like, yeah, we gonna put these parts in today. And I'm like, what? Like, this ain't no type of leadership. You don't put parts in the same day you fucking get them. Like, I don't care what, like, cause, you know, and they were at quarters, they'd be like, anybody got questions? And I'd be like, me, you know, why are we putting parts in at fucking 1,500 we just got today? Like, this shit don't make no sense, you know, whatever. And then my man Baku had to come holler at me, dog. like he must have, and I know he probably know, yeah, I gotta holler at him early, man. This dude is unhinged, man. And you know, some of what he said, and it's one of them things where y'all probably listening like, yeah, who the fuck will put parts in? You know, some of that's the truth, but he just had to let me know, man, like, yo, you're not running shit here, bro. It is, you know, he's like, I don't know. He said something that offended me a little bit. Like, I don't know when the last time you've been on a ship, you know, you know, I was a little offended by that, but it did, that conversation did what it was supposed to do. My next question for y'all is, why did y'all go over 20?
Because I loved it. I like it. Giving back. I feel like that anyway. I feel like now over 20 years, I feel like that's what I'm doing right now is just giving back. But I do like this shit though, man. Like people, you know, they have, you know, complaints and they're just doing it just for 20 and get their retirement at the end of the day, man. I genuinely like doing what I do, you know? So that's kind of how I look at it, man. I just like it.
Same. Like I wasn't done. I got to year 21. I picked up 8. I was like, hey, I'm gonna cap my high 3 on shore, and then I still have more to give. Gotta say something. I don't like when might be a tangent. Stop telling people, looking at people crazy because they decide to make the Navy a career. Don't call nobody a sellout. Don't say nobody, or you stuck. It's not the case. It's a job, it's a profession. Guys can leave when they want to leave or they feel when they need to. I get retired hearing that somebody getting on somebody, oh man, you're a company man. Shut up. The same thing with somebody driving a bus, trash man, or any profession. It's a profession.
Yeah. I mean, but they do that with anybody that buys into the, you know, the best track, the boy that's going picking up all the trash, they gonna make fun of him, you know what I mean? Look at Rock. You know what I mean? They gonna make fun. They gonna make fun of you. You know, that's just how it is, man.
Yeah, but just know, like, I've had somebody like, oh man, you shut up.
Yeah. People that ain't doing shit love to sit around and, you know. But so what's still on y'all's bucket list? Y'all's Navy bucket list?
I think the only thing on my Navy bucket list, man, and I don't think I'm ever going to get it, but it's on there anyway, is doing a tour, going on a deployment on the East Coast. Like hitting some of those ports on that side, I've never been part of. So, yeah.
Bucket list.
Yeah, Navy bucket list.
Oh, I guess a certain tour.
Do you have the, like, what is the tour?
I got it in mind.
You're just not gonna share it?
Not yet, no.
Okay.
I don't want to jinx nothing.
All right. Well, hopefully on the last question, I actually y'all are able to share because my intention for it is to be a deep question.
Okay.
So I got 3 questions left. So this is a 2-part. What's keeping you going? Let me ask y'all the second part, so y'all know already, right? So the question is, what keeps you going? And the second part is like, what pulls you away? right? So what keeps you going is like when you waking up every day, what's making you still put that uniform on now? And y'all might have already kind of answered it, but what's that thing that's keeping you going? But then the second part is like, it's something that's also that you could probably smell a little bit like, man, this starting to smell like bullshit, or this smell like bullshit. And, which ultimately might be like, yeah, it's time for me to cash the chips in, or just fighting against your motivation. So the first one is, what's keeping you going?
What keeps me going is, man, the sailors that are out there kicking ass, man, from afar. And I may not say nothing to them all the time, but I see them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They out there doing great things, and you like, man, this is a mature person, man. They mature. They got a plan. Well, they got goals, right? When they got goals, because we know goals are only dreams unless you have a plan for them, right? So it's like they got goals, and they actually actively executing them. A lot of people have goals, you know what I'm saying? But when you see them, you see people actually doing something with them. It really gets me up in the morning, man, because they really trying to do some stuff with themselves. The thing that's pissing me off about a lot of things, man, is the with them thing, man. I said we in a team game, man, but the with them thing, what's in it for me? Boy, that gets to me, bro. Like it's a million things going on around me, and you're talking about something that is like not. I feel like it's not. I know it's a big deal for them. You know what I mean? But some of the stuff, man, that like we know shit. Like when you start, it's everything about you in the Navy that kind of turns me off a little bit. You know, at some point when we in a team thing, man, we got to think about everybody. I can't just think about one person. And sometimes that get to me more. I think for me is because I am approachable. You know what I'm saying? So it's always somebody passing by. Hey, can I holler at you for a minute, CMC? Hey, can I holler at you for a minute? And I know because I'm an approachable guy and I love talking about these things, man. But sometimes it does get on my nerves a little bit. When you know, and then I think it's a timing thing too. You know, we got these things going on. You know, these inspections going on. You know, all blah, 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 all this stuff be happening. And then you make it about you when we got all this stuff going on. I think that's the point, the part that gets to me sometimes.
What's keeping me going is I'm still fulfilled. I feel my purpose is this. Maybe not in the traditional sense, but the people and impact. I feel like I make an impact and I'm getting fulfillment from it.
Yeah.
Things that make me say, what's the second part of the question? Things that make me want to tap out, or?
Yeah, like what pulls you away? I wouldn't say things that make me want to tap out. That's crazy. But what pulls you?
That's crazy.
You try to get me earlier. I told you, man. I'm locked in, bro.
That's a say again moment, right?
I'm locked in.
Tap out? You see tap out? She talking about?
Who is it? Gina Carano? Whatever.
Oh yeah, that nonsense.
What pulls you away?
Just some principles, philosophies, some ideologies from some people I am not in alignment. You know, certain people. Definitions of merit, meritocracy. I don't know. Things like that.
Yeah, I feel that about the definitions of merit. That shit is a sliding scale, boy.
Yeah. So them things I see, it just, some things aren't in alignment with me. It makes me really, I'm like, all right, I gotta hang it up after a while.
Jesus.
Yeah. All right, I got my last question. I don't know what's going on in your house, man. Like it's like
it's my daughter and the ice machine.
Yeah, it's a whole
moving
thing. Oh, I forgot it was 2 questions. So my next question is, what's next for y'all, yo? Like in life, man, after this Navy shit.
Ooh. I tell you what's next for me, man, is like I chose to do this for a long time, for making it like my career thing. I want this to be like my career thing. Will I get another job or do something when I get out of here? I'm not saying no to it, but I'm not like jumping at the bits for it. I'll probably fall in line and do some stuff with Ella and her business stuff, right? Work along with her. But will I get another job? We'll see. If somebody offer me some good numbers, you know what I'm saying? Maybe make me think. But man, I plan on doing taking care of myself, man, doing a lot of golfing and just having some fun and doing more things with Ella that I haven't been able to do the last 20, 30 years in the Navy, man. That's kind of my plan moving forward. I'm not trying to stress myself out a whole lot if I don't have to. But I plan on staying active though. Very active. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, echo with Damon. When I hang this up, I don't feel like doing nothing that I have to do. I want to do what I want to do. And I'm going to be a writer. I want to be the next Jack Carr, meaning a guy that retires and then seamlessly transitions into writing. That's going to be me. I'm going to claim it. I'm going to do that. And I'm going to be a historian in some form of fashion. That's my thing. I'm going to be a writer. That's my passion. I'm going to build on that. I'm going to do it. That's what makes me.
Still going to be podding?
If you have me or whatever we're doing. But yeah, of course, yeah.
No, we're going to be podding.
Remember, I'm third mic, you know what I mean? So,
Podding to our 60s, man.
Well, hey, I will have that. And I'll make sure that, with this producer, I'll fall under the productions. Yeah, we got it, man.
Yeah. And I'll talk a little bit. I would hope to have more media coming out and to expand. It's hard. It's like, I'm not going to say it's hard. I don't feel like expanding too much on it while I'm in. And plus, we still got to grow, right? We don't monetize. So that's still something. But I also want a few podcasts under our belt. Like we did the women's episode. Like I would love to have a women's podcast. I would love to have a Junior Seller Perspective Point of View podcast. And I would love all of those things to be under the PTSF like umbrella. And even more, right? An officer thing, right? Somewhere you could all... Yeah, I'm not necessarily looking for that under PTSF, to be honest, unless it's Navy sports. But, I do want to fold all of those things under like the umbrella. I just don't think we have it. And then the last question I got for y'all, and I'm looking for y'all to kind of be real on this one, even though y'all been real the whole time, right? But I'm looking for a little bit more in depth. Moments that y'all missed in life that you regret, but you missed it because of the Navy.
Ooh, man, I got a moment that I'm still probably jacked up about, man, and it's my oldest daughter. Right, I pretty much did miss like all of this young lady's life, bro. Right. And the conversations are very, very difficult for us. Even right now, like we chat, we'll throw a chat in, man. It's very like one worded, I'm trying to let her, but I will say this though. It ain't like a lack of me having effort of trying though. Right. I'm always like, hey, come see me. I got a ticket. I got this, but I'm never getting the responses like I want to. And I know it's all because of the Navy, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Me and her mom didn't set, sales or whatever. They was somewhere else. And then now it's like me trying to pull teeth in the beginning, of this and trying to make things happen and trying to see her and trying to do this. But deployments, all this stuff kind of is just start going fade and not in the communication with us. And she's like freaking 24. You know what I mean? And now the communication between us, like when we communicate is like, to me, it's very difficult. Right. And I think that's one of the biggest, that is the biggest thing that I regret about this whole Navy thing. Right. I went to a graduation, we talked, but it ain't like we don't like each other. You know what I mean? But it's just that communication that I would like to have, like I have with the rest of them. I hit them up on the phone or we chatting back and forth or whatever the case may be. I just don't have that with her. And I wish that's my biggest regret, man. I don't have that type of relationship with her.
Could you ask that question again, Damo?
Yeah. What did you, like, because of the Navy, right? What moments in life did you miss that you regret?
I didn't miss the moments. I was able to be there for every childbirth and all the months afterwards to being a father. Being a husband, I was a husband. I was there. What I'll say is I didn't lose myself, but my attention span, I wasn't always fully present in the moments. If that makes sense. I love my family first, but my actions didn't show it with my attention sometimes. So I'd say me, it wasn't the Navy's fault. It's me using the Navy as a crutch subconsciously to not be fully present sometimes. You know, I keep saying this. You probably got to get a tally for my times of references, but I don't know what episode it was. You said, Damo, you said that you felt like you was on the conveyor belt. And I say that, I'm mad that I allowed the Navy for certain spurts throughout my career to be on the conveyor belt or the assembly line, rather than just me driving my momentum, my movement.
Yeah. So there's no moment in life, even like outside of being a dad, no moment that you missed. That's what you just said, right?
Yeah, the milestone one, because I lucked out. I didn't miss childbirth, and I didn't miss the time, the bonding time immediately afterward. I lucked out, luck of the draw with the way my tours and deployment schedule worked.
Yeah, I got mad. I got like so many of them. Music, a lot of music ones, like a lot of like music opportunities that I couldn't do because of underways, and like especially as a budding like artist back when I was in Norfolk. It was a lot of, I had a manager and everything. There's a lot of opportunities I missed musically, and just realized that having a manager probably wasn't the greatest of ideas, and like all types of stuff, right? Music, family, my grandma, my mom's mom, I missed her whole entire process, right? And my mom listens, so I'm not going to go too deep into me because I could just talk matter of fact when there's emotions involved. But I missed her whole transition process, like the whole thing, like from when they found out she was sick until she transitioned. Like I just wasn't there for it. But I think the biggest thing that I regret is I don't have the impact. I feel like, right, this might be a self-conscious thing, but I don't feel like I have the impact on my nephews and nieces that I would have if I was there. I feel like I might have a mythological impact, a conceptual impact. You know, I got whatever my mom represents or my sisters or brothers represent about me, and they've seen me, right? I'm not like absent, you know, but I'm not there every day, you know, family building shit. Like I remember it's the family, like, you know, a holiday, for instance, the process of a holiday, right? Like the week before us getting stuff, you know, going down to the hours and just all of those memories, you know? I watched my mom talk about these memories she got with my nephews, and I'm taken aback by them sometimes just for the mere fact that they've been building these things for shit over 21 years now. You know, my oldest nephew like 21. So the whole time I've been in the Navy, they've been building new shit, you know, getting that FaceTime with a whole family together. And not every time I'm away, you know, but some of the times I just came back or I don't feel like driving, whatever. But, you know, getting that FaceTime and everybody together, like, yo, it's all of us except you, but we FaceTiming you to bring you in. And, you know, just all of that and just knowing how much more impact. I remember going to a family member's house and seeing a little cousin of mine and her not knowing me, you know, and her just being blatant about that shit. Like, yo, I don't know you. Like, who, like, who are you? You know what I mean? And they was like, yeah, she speak her mind. Like, don't mind her. She speak her mind. But inside, I'm like, damn, my cousin don't even she don't recognize me as a family member, you know? And they like, yeah, she a little picky about that. So those things and just like who I am, not in theory or in thought, like who I am for real, like all my failures, like the real shit that I got to say, like it not being entrenched into my nephews and nieces, man. I regret that. That's one of the things that I wish was different. I wish I handled it differently. I just wish the circumstances were different. And there's nothing I could do about some of the circumstances. So that's mine.
Yeah. Hey, Dumbo, I mean, when we was talking about the question, man, I was just thinking about the biggest thing or whatever, but I echo all of that same stuff, though, that you just said, man. Like my mom, my grandma, which my grandma played a huge part of my life growing up. And the whole her getting sick and all that stuff was a big deal for me. My mom was a bad diabetic, and I knew she was a bad diabetic. You know what I mean? And of course, in those times, my mom, you know, her saying was, you got to die from something. So I knew she wasn't going to, you know, live too long, you know, when she was diagnosed, because she still ate the same and did the same thing. She didn't try to change anything. But I wasn't there at all for none of that stuff. Right.
Yeah.
My niece, and I got so many nieces, about probably all of my brothers. It's 6 of us total. And probably all of them got 4 and 5 kids, bro.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And I pretty much like never had the time and spent the time with them at all. They know me. They know of me. You know what I mean? But that's a different. Now they having kids. Now they older. They 30 something. You know what I mean? Like it's crazy how times are changing. They'll hit me up. Some of them hit me up on like Facebook and stuff. Like, you know, just knowing because my last name is the same as theirs. You know what I mean? Like who are you type stuff. So most definitely missed a lot of that time. And then just missed the area too, man. Mississippi, where you grew up at, all your friends that was around there, and what was their outcomes, and like I'm talking about real friends, man. I don't really talk to them at all, you know, and that's because of the Navy, bro. Like it is most definitely because of the Navy. But a lot of that family stuff back at home where you grew up at, I guarantee you a lot of people in the military will probably say some of the same stuff when it comes to that.
Yeah. Hey, y'all, look, that's it, yo. I hope that little, you know, Q&A session resonated with some people. You know, as some questions seem simple, sometimes they could take us to places that's not simple places. So I hope that resonated. I wanted us to get out of the cheese mess for a little bit, you know, and hopefully that did it. Hopefully we did. I know we did jump back in there a little bit when we talk about rice cookers and waffle makers, but hopefully we didn't veer too far away from what we wanted to do, guys. Hey, happy Memorial Day, right?
Yeah, man. Happy Memorial Day. And you guys already know what it is, man. Mississippi, stand up.